It is 6:01. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Titans back on the practice field Thursday as Arden Key, Blake Hance, Marcus Harris, and Joey Sly all missed practice for a second straight day. And J.C. Latham practiced for a second straight day in a limited capacity. Titans and Raiders this Sunday at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Kickoff set for 3:05. You can catch the Titans radio call right here on The Zone starting at 2 o'clock. Thursday night football last night as the Giants beat the Philadelphia Eagles 34-17. Rookie running back Cam Scatabo led the way for the Giants, 19 carries, 98 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Rookie quarterback Jackson Dart 17 of 25, 195 yards, and a touchdown and an interception in his third career start. Giants improved to 2-4, while the Eagles fall to 4-2. The Nashville Predators opened their season with a 2-1 win over the Columbus Blue Jackets last night at Bridgestone Arena. Ryan O'Reilly scored early in the third to give the Preds the lead. Preds host the Utah Mammoth on Saturday at Bridgestone Arena. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Off and running, away we go into your Friday morning edition of Ramon and Will. We are fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. A loaded Friday morning coming up for you here today, and a great fall day, a brisk morning in Middle Tennessee. On October the 10th, crew is almost all here. Jackson Williams and for Justin Hawkins for one more morning. He's Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. A beautiful day to wake up in Nashville and not in Philadelphia. Good morning, Ramon.
Hard times are real, man.
Wow.
I thought winning cured all. I thought championships meant everything, Will. I thought championships kept everybody together. Didn't look like it last night. Did not look like it last night.
On the football field and the baseball diamond, a very rough night in Philadelphia. So I'm curious, do we break any rules if we just pop in a Philadelphia sports talk radio show or YouTube live stream at some point today? Just listen in. Jackson, can we get a ruling on that? Because I think Philadelphia sports talk radio is about to be absolute gold this morning. About the only thing more gold is going to be what's going on in A.J. Brown's head, but we will settle for Philly sports talk radio.
Who had a meeting that told everybody he wasn't a part of when everybody else said he was a part of a meeting? How do you explain this drama, man? I mean, this is by far one of the best sports cities. I got to give them that. They're pretty good at supporting sports and have won a good bid and got stars on every team. NBA, NFL, MLB. Do we do the hockey thing? They do the hockey thing well, too?
Philadelphia Flyers are not very good.
Well, never mind.
The point is, last night, the Eagles lost in spectacular fashion to the Giants, and the Philadelphia Phillies got knocked out of the NLDS as well. To the L.A. Dodgers, yes. In dramatic fashion. 11th inning, their pitcher threw it home and had an error walk-off loss when he had plenty of time to throw to first base and get Pajes, the Dodgers outfielder, in plenty of time to extend it into 12.
Trying to do too much.
I mean, just a Hall of Fame bad sports day in the city of brotherly love yesterday.
Trying to do too much.
There's probably somebody out there waking up in Nashville this morning who's a Philly sports fan just cursing my name to start the day. And I apologize, but you know what, Ramon? We have a saying on this show.
Tell us.
It's Friday. Act like it.
And we gonna act
and we are properly acting like it.
And we have to act like it in moments like this, Will. Not only just that, it was a Thursday night, Friday Junior, and Brian Daboll was acting like it too. Did you see him almost lose his mind after Russell Wilson went in?
And he already apologized for it.
He
so
did.
Jackson Dart had a one-play injury.
Yeah, he got knocked.
And had to go into the injury tent. I think it was something of his helmet dragged up his face. Or it was a flesh wound.
Yeah.
It was not a bone wound. And he went into the injury tent and then to check on him, then came back, had to put Russ in, and then they had to punt anyway, and he chewed out the medical guy in a suit. It's kind of jarring to see a guy in a suit yelling at a football coach in the sidelines. That's not an image you often get.
No, not at all. Brian Daboll's breaking protocol. He saw Russell Wilson get in and throw 2 incompletes, man. I'm talking about into the dirt. The second one on third down, I was just like, Russ, I laughed. I legitimately laughed. And I think Russ is a great guy. Savage got a board full of good dudes, okay? Good dudes. We know how we feel about those guys, man. Sometimes they're just not dogs. But Brian Dable almost lost his mind after watching Russell Westbrook.
I think he'd lose his mind on that, too, to be honest with you.
He would lose his mind. He'd have a heck of an athlete, though. I know that. By far one of the best athletes of our time, I would say Russell Westbrook. But Russell Wilson, man, that was fascinating. It was fun watching the young guys get busy. It was fun also, this part of it, too, watching what a superior team was supposed to look like, and it absolutely got rolled. It was football last night. I thought was good. It was a step in the right direction for a team that absolutely needed. I thought you saw a whole lot of desperation in their play and in their coach's demeanor too. I don't know if I've ever seen Dable be like that, but it was almost as if he legitimately said, "I'm hitching my wagons to Jackson Dart."
They've got a bromance, man.
I thought it was me. I ain't saying it's weird.
No, it's not weird at all. I think it's just
it's
a really good relationship between a head coach and his quarterback.
It is. It's kind of rich is what it is, man.
I think Brian Dable knows that's his ticket to keep his job.
Most definitely.
I still never thought Brian Dable was really a bad coach. Like, even with Daniel Jones there, even with the Tommy DeVito stuff going on, like, look at the cards that he has been dealt to make chicken salad out of chicken poop.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I always felt like he was the kind of coach that even if he became available and the Giants did move on from him, 2 years later, he'd be a head coach.
He'd right back in it.
100%.
He'd right back in
100%. Now, he's only 2-4. They got a long way to go. Is this just a weird divisional result that then is a flash in the pan because you know the opponent so well? Jackson Dart's playing really well. I'm curious to see if he can sustain this level of performance because this is kind of 3 games in a row now for him.
Yeah.
That have been pretty impressive. And I don't know. I mean, so this was from NFL Research. Giants rookies Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo ran for scores Thursday night. The last time the Giants had 2 rookies with 1 or more rushing touchdown in the same game was Week 10, 1980 against Dallas with Larry Heater and Leon Perry, each rushing for touchdowns in that game.
Well, listen, I mean, what is this, 5 from the rookies last night?
Mm-hmm.
That is one heck of a night. I saw people tweeting about, like, did we just over-evaluate the Scatterbo situation? And it's just like...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I'm going to stand on a platform, too, and say that we were on the right side of history with this one. Oh. More NFL draft people and NFL people should just watch college football. Like, sometimes good football players, when they get elevated to the NFL, are just good football players. Like, it is I was all over Cam Scatterbo in the draft. I just think he's a good football player.
Yep.
Sometimes it can genuinely be that simple.
It can be that simple. Like, the tape sometimes don't lie. Like, looking at, like, Darren McFadden back in the day, like, D-Mac was going to be him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I will say this, the earlier parts of what Ezekiel Elliott is, like, that's the most obvious takes. But, like, you have guys like Cam Scatterbo that are tough. They got a demeanor. You hear them talk. They growl when they talk. It was funny. I'll clean it up real quick. But apparently he and doggone Jackson Dart knock heads whenever they communicate with one another. There's a video of them and Scatterbo's talking in the post game, and Jackson Dart walks up to him on camera, and instead of like shaking hands and dapping each other up or hugging, they knocked heads. Somebody in the comments said these 2 dudes out here communicating like 2 pit bulls. And that's been his attitude. That's how he's approached it. Like, you look at what Arizona State is right now, the results of what they are without him too. You even look at what they were with him last year. Like, they came out of left field, and a lot of credit was given to their young quarterback, who is, I don't know, he's trying to find his way also still at Arizona State. But you look at their coach and that team, like, it's through his legs, and the Giants are doing the exact same thing right now. 3 touchdowns, and not only just that, he ran up the middle one time, and he absolutely knocked over Cooper DeJean just for the hell of it.
Right.
He was in the middle of the
guy
pile.
That just loves contact. It's like, well, Cam, you are allowed to go around people sometimes, too.
Don't matter to him.
It does not matter to him at all.
Does not matter to him. But you're also saying this, too, the recipe. A young quarterback that's been supported by one heck of a running game. Even if it ain't like over the top, they had 172 last night, which is crazy. And 58 of it comes from Jackson Dart. But like, the run game helps Jackson Dart do the other stuff that he likes doing too.
That's the thing that surprised me most about Dart so far, is his toughness in the run game. Because he's not that big.
Tripped me out.
Yeah, he's running like a young Josh Allen out there. That's kind of what he looks like, is rookie Josh Allen. He's not perfect,
Smaller version.
but he's showing you some flashes, and he makes some tough throws just standing in the pocket mid-hit that are still accurate.
He's 6'2", 223.
Yeah.
He's
not
got
Josh
some
Allen,
weight,
but
but he ain't he ain't tall, to your point. He's not 6'5".
Honestly, he's kind of like Haynes King.
Yeah.
Not an overly big guy. See, that's a quarterback's way to your heart. It's just to be like Haynes King. But honestly,
that shut me up so quick.
That's kind of what he's playing like. Well, I mean, I'm not wrong.
No, you're not.
I'm not wrong.
That shut me up so
that's
quick.
The official favorite quarterback of this radio show, is Haynes King.
We'll put him up on a pedestal.
Well, no, I mean, honestly, you put him up on a pedestal.
I did put him up. I most definitely put him up on a pedestal, man. But it's fascinating watching him do work. And here's the other part of it, too. Watching that game and listen to the commentators and the crowd of it also, Jalen Hyde's considered a bust there, like, for whatever it's worth.
Yes, he is, 100%.
But you saw a quarterback last night in Jackson Dart throw him the football.
Yeah.
And make him
100%
catch it in ways that guys go through this. Like, this is not a trailing conversation, but I'm looking at this and saying sometimes the right quarterback can make a dude into more than he actually was, like perception of it.
I mean, he still only had 3 catches for 17 yards.
But he had also
that's 3 more than the last 3 games before that.
It is. It's his first 3 of the season.
Yeah.
That's the other part of it for Jalen. But what I'm getting at is this. The right quarterback going to him. And here's the thing. Jalen Hyde was covered on like 2 or 3 of those passes that he caught, and he brought them in still. And it probably just changed the belief on him. And I'm making this about the Vols in a sense because, like, sometimes you just got to have the right guy that believes in the guys that are going to make plays. And I'm not sure if Russell did that for him or whoever, DeVito either. Like, they've been in quarterback hell also, kind of like the Titans.
They have been, for sure. 615-737-1045 is our number as we broadcast live for the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. A rapid-fire preview of a loaded SEC slate coming up next. One big thing on Tennessee, Arkansas, Red River, Georgia, Auburn, Missouri, Alabama, and we'll take a look around the AFC South as well here in Hour 1. Coming up. What's up? It's Will Bowling. I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French onion dip. It is one of my guilty pleasures during football season. Dips with chips, with wings, with veggies. It just becomes part of my meal process, right? When you're watching football, just snacking throughout the day. Not one big meal, just snacking on Daisy French onion dip. This stuff is fantastic. It's just delicious as a homemade dip with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. And this dip and the Daisy Ranch dip are both in my fridge right now in my own kitchen. Go check it out. Look for Daisy French onion dip at a grocery store near you. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling. I played this song so much the week of the Oklahoma-Tennessee game last year.
Did you really?
That it made it in my Apple Music top 100 of the year. It was like my 80th most listened to song of the year just from 1 week.
That's getting to it, Will. That's what that is. You were devoted to it.
Also, shout out Apple Music.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just feel like you get judged for not being a Spotify person. But I love Apple Music.
That's what I go to. I dropped my Spotify membership, actually.
See, you know ball.
I did. I will say on Pandora and Apple. But like Pandora's because the mixes come through and it just goes, man. Golly, my Garth Brooks mix, my Jagged Edge mix.
I forget Pandora is still a thing, but I guess it is still really big. I loved it back when I had an iPod Touch. And you would do Pandora stations on that was like the original. Like, if you like this, you might also like this.
Listen, pick a station and roll. And on the road,
that's right.
Like I can curate it however I want to. The thumbs up, thumbs down.
I like it.
Oh my gosh! Listen, you need to get in. I'll give you my login if you want.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Tennessee and Arkansas tomorrow from Knoxville. The game is at 3:15 p.m. It will be on the SEC Network. And Ramon Foster and Mike Keith will have the call, along with Brent Hubbs, by the way, who joins us in an hour, as always. You know that if you're up this early listening to us. Tennessee has to do what, Ramon, to handle business against the Razorbacks?
Control running back Mike Washington. Taylor Green is a thing. But if you can make that offense one-dimensional, and here's the thing, Bobby Petrino, absolutely, he has a mindset to go punch you in the mouth. He is an aggressive coach. And for him coming into this week as the interim head coach right now, he's going to try to establish himself and put on an offensive display for anybody who's an Arkansas booster that may want to keep him. Here's the thing about it. Taylor Green can run. I've also brought up Braylon Russell time and time again, too. But here's the scenario. Mike Washington, number 4, is a home run hitter. He hits a gap, and he's gone. He did it against Ole Miss. He's done it against Memphis. He can play football. He did it a little bit against Notre Dame, too. He, to me, is the straw that stirs the drink more than what Taylor Green's got going on. I feel like if Taylor's running the football, it's only so many hits he's going to take at that position. And I'd much rather go ahead and take care of the running back as opposed to letting the quarterback run.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think you kind of expect Taylor Green to challenge you and to be someone that is difficult to stop.
It's
so
the
you're
obvious,
right. It's the run game that's the X factor. I think it's totally fair. And I think, too, for Tennessee, Ramon, if you're looking at this in terms of just how does Tennessee handle business, they've given up nearly 200 yards rushing to their last 2 SEC opponents. And I think in a game like this where you are a 12.5-point favorite and the result doesn't feel super in question because I think you feel really confident you're going to win the football game.
Right.
Handling business looks different than just, okay, what's it going to take to win? It's like, what's it going to take to win and then feel good about yourself and your football team heading into Tuscaloosa?
You have it in your notes, the 2 guys, though, too, will be back. But, like, it needs to look like, to what you're about to say in a second, it needs to look like David Hobbs and Jackson Moy are actually in the lineup.
100%. I think there is a world we could live in where David Hobbs makes Tennessee better at 2 positions on defense. Because then all of a sudden Don Bailey's a defensive end again, and you've got a bigger end setting the edge in the run game, and you also have David Hobbs back. And I'm not to say that one person is going to totally fix that defensive line, but as much as Rodney Garner likes to rotate 6, 7, 8 guys into his defensive front, getting one back also takes stress off of about 4 or 5 other ones who now don't have to play as much.
That you can trust.
And are now fresher in the fourth quarter when teams are trying to lean on you a little bit in the run game and you're getting worn down. I just think it makes Tennessee so much better up front. Does that also make linebackers better? Does that take some of the pressure off the secondary and your freshman corner? Remains to be seen. But I do think there is a world we could live in where David Hobbs is a major difference maker for this Tennessee defense.
I was asked a question, too. What's one thing that needs to be corrected or, cleaned up coming out of the bye? I'll even add it to it because issues don't leave football tape for about 3 weeks. And for 2 straight weeks, the Vols punt return team has caused chaos. Boo Carter, fumble. Braylon Staley, fumble, clean up special teams. Like Tim Banks got to be livid at the amount of times he's had to defend the short field. That's not easy. And especially against teams that are going to be looking to capitalize. They got, scouting departments that will try to put you in bad situations. That's where the special teams have to be good coming out of this bye.
Yeah, I agree. I think offensively for Tennessee on Saturday, I feel like they're good enough and Arkansas is bad enough on defense to where we don't really have to worry about them. and maybe I'm assuming something I shouldn't. And Arkansas will probably have some looks that Tennessee will need to adjust to and haven't seen with a new defensive coordinator. I just think that defense is so bad that it's not really going to matter. I think Tennessee at home on offense is so solid that they should be totally fine on offense. It's just, can you stop the explosives for Taylor Green and Washington and the big back as well in Russell for Arkansas when they have the football?
Absolutely.
Texas and Oklahoma, Ramon. What is one big thing you're watching for in Red River?
The Oklahoma defensive line. I'm talking about Marvin Jones, Dominic Williams, Jaden Jackson, Mason Thomas, and also the young phenom D-tackle David Stone. Can they neutralize what Arch Manning is as a quarterback and make him look like he was in Florida? It's not a home game. It's a neutral site, the Red River Shootout. Mm-hmm. And that was the one thing I felt like Florida did to him, where it looked as if he was bad Eli Manning. You know what I'm saying? When Eli got bad, you was just like, whoa, what is this? Are you really a Manning? Like, that's how Arch looked in Gainesville, I felt like. And that defensive line, and it's Brent Venables' defense, can they attack him and make him look pedestrian?
Yeah.
That's the one big thing I have in this game. And I guess the opposite side is never mind. I'll wait on that one. But can that D-line affect Arch?
Sure. No, I think it's totally fair. And I think that starts with how bad Texas is on the offensive line. And it's incredible to me how Texas has just had simple one-on-one losses up front that they shouldn't be having. I mean, they have got 5 stars and blue chips and good players. And I know they're replacing a lot of production on last year's offensive line, but this is supposed to be Texas. You're not supposed to have the same growing pains in terms of, we got these inexperienced guys, we're going to throw them out there. No, those inexperienced guys were coveted by every program in the country. Play like it. That's the thing that's so incredible to me. They've given up 9 sacks this year, 69th in college football. Oklahoma leads college football with 4.2 sacks per game. I think these are 2 defenses that have major advantages up front against their counterparts on the offensive line, because Texas is still outstanding against the run defensively. Texas is still not giving up a ton of explosives. They did a little bit to Dallas Wilson last week, but I think that may just become hey, Dallas Wilson's really good.
Right.
I just think that maybe that was a pretty fixed Florida team at home. I don't know. Maybe I'm making too many excuses for Texas, and if they lose, I'll sit on here Monday and say I was wrong. But I just think that was a tough place to go. That's in the swamp.
It is.
That's DJ Lagway, who finally is playing with his teammates and is practicing. Because we always knew, Ramon, DJ Lagway started off the season poorly because he didn't practice. Yep. DJ Lagway is still a really good football player that's probably going to get better as the season goes. Well, look, he got Dallas Wilson, his star freshman wide receiver, back, and now he looks better. I think that result may age well for Florida and a little bit better and more kindly for Texas. I don't know. Maybe Texas just stinks, and this is a 7-5 or 8-4 team. We look back on it they got that one wrong. And maybe we live in that world. I just think that roster is too good talent-wise on paper, and I think Steve Sarkisian is too good of a coach for that to just be who Texas is.
Texas is a product of, did they recruit the wrong high-caliber guys?
100%.
Or
100%.
Or did the recruiting sites lie to us? Because we're looking at all of these players that they have on their roster, and that's why I was going to get the other side of the Arch conversation. At what point does the perennial number 1 player or number 2 minimum or max at his class look like the number 1 guy again? And that's Arch Manning. I'm talking about all the things that Oklahoma can do to him, but we've seen time and time again, guys that are high caliber football players. DJ Lagway finally had his moment, right? When is Arch going to have his? If you ever wanted to build a legend for the Manning family in Austin, Texas, it's this weekend. Like, I can give an excuse for him. Everybody can say, I don't know if it's his shoulder, the O-line, but at some point, he's got to look like a guy that's got zip on his ball. And I don't think we've seen that at all for him. Well, mind you, too, having a running back, supposedly having the offensive line, having an offensive-minded head coach also. And the other thing that sucks for Arch in Texas is this. That defense has first-rounders.
Yeah, it does.
It's got second-rounders.
At all three levels, it does.
You got support.
100%.
This doesn't make sense to me. Like, Sarkisian's either, like I said, James Franklin 2.0, or he's just above his head and they were just miscast this year.
Yeah, Oklahoma's leading rusher is Torrey Blaylock with 57 carries for 257. John Mateer has just 60 less rushing yards, basically, than their leading rusher. If John Mateer is playing in this game, I still don't know how much they move him around and run him. And if that's the case, Oklahoma has to have some kind of run game to have a chance. Because if you are asking John Mateer with 2 weeks, or I guess 3 weeks at that point after surgery, to throw the ball 40 times and win this game, I don't think Oklahoma is going to be able to do it. So, I mean, I think a game of Big Ten football is going to break out in the Cotton Bowl. And you look at just the members of those recruiting classes for Texas up front. I mean, again, like consensus 5-star prospects everywhere on that front five. And DJ Campbell, the senior right guard, who was the number one interior offensive lineman in the class of 2022, according to 247 Sports. Like senior Cole Hudson, who was highly rated, and Connor Robertson, his backup, and like guys that are just like 5-star recruits. And I don't know, it's just, it's incredible. Like Brandon Baker's a 5-star recruit in there. Yeah. They've got transfers. They've got a lot of talent on paper that's got to play like it, is what they got to do. Are you trusting John Mateer's hand? Like legitimately? Like, no. Do you think he makes it out? No. Yeah. That's where I am too. No, I will believe it when I see it. If John Mateer looks like John Mateer on Saturday, he could still play. I will believe it when I see it, when he looks like himself in this game. Vandy Chris on YouTube says maybe the talent evaluators got it wrong with Texas, just like they have with Vandy and Auburn. Just because you were rated high in high school doesn't make you good in college. I don't think that's true. And two, with Vandy, I don't think anyone got a lot of the talent wrong with Vandy. Those guys are just 23 and 24 years old. I mean, look at their roster. They are experienced. These guys aren't the same freshmen they were coming out of high school when Vanderbilt, and it's not a slight to them having old players, Ramon. It's what BYU did at the height of their powers, right? Like they've got a lot of old football players who've been there and done that, and you know what their floors are. That's the thing with Vandy. I don't think anybody got recruiting rankings wrong on them. They've got a really good offensive scheme and system, and they've got a lot of old dudes. And when you got a lot of old dudes, you're typically going to be pretty good.
Vandy Chris, I love you. Okay. You're an awesome contributor to the YouTube family, to us. But this is just one of those situations where, like, the recruiting side of, like, what you are as a team, legitimately, like, it does get backed up by 247, by Rivals, by On 3.
These people are very good at what they do.
They've hit, but very good evaluating. Now, the thing that I said, and I think the thing that Vanderbilt is benefiting from is this. They picked the right guys out of the portal, with the right system, with a right foundation. And you guys have struck gold with that. That to me is the difference. Right. And that's awesome. Yeah. But like these high schoolers that came out, like you're looking at other teams, Florida, what's the young wide receiver down there? Like he was
Dallas Wilson.
Dallas Wilson. Like he was rated properly. Like he just had to get healthy and play. Like it does come down to coaching sometimes, and maybe that 5-star doesn't fit your system, but you wanted them anyway.
And it comes down to you are less likely to stockpile talent because some of those 5-star freshmen, Ramon, are leaving after their freshman year if they don't immediately play. And so everyone just has less cushion when they do get evaluations wrong, because no one has ever evaluated a class perfectly. Right. So now when that 5-star you thought was going to be a 5-star leaves, well, your other 4-star you brought in with him, he already left this offseason before because he thought the 5-star was going to get playing time. And then now you got to go down to a 3-star that you never really planned on starting. And now all of a sudden you got a problem. Like the situation Tennessee had on its offensive line with David Sanders. Tennessee lost Larry Johnson, its right tackle that was competing with David Sanders for that job in camp. If Jesse Perry had been not very good this year, we'd be talking about, man, the depth in the portal, the depth with the portal era
right.
is just tough to lose a 5-star and keep a guy. That's where development comes into play. And that's where Tennessee and Glenn Ellerbe and their staff developed Jesse Perry into a starting level right tackle. And he's been fantastic. But that cushion was created by development. And Tennessee developing a lineman who wasn't playing. That's really rare. That does not happen very often when you turn a 3-star prospect into a legitimate starting tackle in the Southeastern Conference as still an underclassman.
I agree.
Let's go to Auburn and Georgia, Ramon. What is your one big thing on the Deep South's oldest rivalry played under the lights in Jordan-Hare Stadium this weekend?
Can Georgia's defense outplay Auburn's defense in this game? Hugh Freeze is
out of a bye, too.
Yeah. Hugh Freeze is going to be a wizard. He's got this thing, or he beats Bama, he beats Georgia, he beats Florida, right? But nobody else with the way you're looking at them. As it stands, too, and you're right, they're coming out of a bye, but Georgia also is at a point to where they're giving up more yards defensively than what Auburn is. 307 versus Auburn sitting at 299. Like, legitimately, the passing yards that Georgia's giving up also in games, I'm not sure if this is a bend but don't break. I know the Vols got them pretty good. I know Alabama got them pretty good. The quality of opponents that Georgia's also played have them in this position where they're giving up. Now, this is a high-quality game. How does Georgia stand tall? They're running the ball well on the ground. Gunnar Stockton has been the guy that you wanted him to be, too, but defensively,
against Tennessee,
they slip. They absolutely slip at times where you don't think so. And the issue that they also have, they cannot get after the quarterback.
No, they can't. They are
and sacks ain't everything.
108th in college football in sacks this season with 7.
Single digits halfway through the season.
Yep.
That's the issue that they have right now.
Follow-up point to that, because that is the key matchup, I think, is Georgia's pass rush against Auburn's offensive line / quarterback, because Auburn's issue protecting Jackson Arnold is also a Jackson Arnold problem because he's not getting the ball out on time. You know how many teams there are in college football?
136?
134.
34.
Auburn ranks 134 in sacks allowed this year.
No, brother.
4.2 sacks allowed per game. The Auburn Tigers have given up 21 sacks so far this season.
I like how you backed me up right there on that one in the sack thing. That was
yeah.
Let me high five my dog.
Absolutely right. I don't think Auburn has the quarterback to expose Georgia's weaknesses in the past game.
Right.
And those are not normal Georgia defensive backs they got out there this year. That's the most striking difference to me. There have been Georgia defenses that struggled to get after the quarterback. I mean, 2022 when Tennessee went down there, that was not a good pass rush that Georgia had on paper. And then all of a sudden, here it comes, right? I do think that Auburn will have some success in this game just because their receiving core, again, is as good as it gets in college football. Cam Coleman is a one-of-one first-round draft pick, future star in the NFL, to me, a wide receiver. I just don't think Jackson Arnold is going to be able to meet this moment. And when given the choice of betting on a Kirby Smart team in a tough spot where they've already lost, or Hugh Freeze and Auburn to do something they haven't done this year, and that's protect their quarterback and just throw over the middle, which they don't really do very often. I'm always going to trust when I'm kind of 60-40, 50-50 in a game, I'm always going to lean on whoever's got Kirby Smart.
That's real.
That's just the reality of it. Yeah. I know weird things happen in Jordan-Hare, especially in this game, especially at night. Nothing would surprise me, but I think Georgia wins and covers.
I think so, too.
Missouri and Alabama is just a really, really fascinating matchup, Ramon. What's your one big thing in this one?
Can Missouri do exactly as Vanderbilt was planning? See, Chris, I'll give credit to you.
Great point.
Vanderbilt exposed them. Diego Pavia had a fumble at the wrong time. If he'd have stuck the dagger in and twisted as he was going to the ground and they were in the red zone right there, it's a little violent, but we acting like it on a Friday, okay?
Okay.
All right. Vandy's game plan of running down their mouth and exposing the fact that 3 down front that Alabama has at time has its gaps. Alabama also has a defensive back issue too. Their guys cannot find their spots and fill the holes when it comes down to them defensively stopping the run. Body to a body, man to a man. If Missouri, who's had good offensive linemen for years in a row right now, they have first and second rounders, and they got a running back, and they got a home run hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Follow Vandy's game plan in the first half, and Missouri may end up winning.
I really think that's a great way to look at it. I think there are some similarities in the systems, in the way Eli Drinkwitz with the pre-snap motion, with some of the option stuff, and Bo Pribula. Second in scoring offense this season, Missouri, through 5 games. They have not played a really good opponent. Best team they played this year is probably still South Carolina or Kansas, maybe.
Yeah.
I think Missouri's ability to get after the quarterback and make Ty Simpson the Florida State version of himself and not the Georgia and Vandy version of himself, that is Missouri's pathway on defense. Missouri this season has been really good at getting after the quarterback. And statistically, I mean, they only have 12 sacks, but the pressure rate, the ability of just live in the backfield, I think that is the thing that concerns me for Alabama in this game. I still think Bama wins. I think Missouri may cover the 4.5 if it's still 4.5. But I think it's a really good football game. I'm still just a little hesitant on Alabama.
I think most are.
I'm still just a little hesitant on them because they are still capable of these big letdown spots. They've got to keep proving to me they can just keep showing up and handling their business the way they have the last 2 games. 100%. 615-737-1045, our number. We wrap up the first hour coming up in the AFC South. 2 games to tell you about. The Titans will not be participating in. Cardinals, Colts, Seahawks, Jags. Our thoughts next.
Did you know that up to 50% of the air you breathe in your home, it comes from your crawl space? Well, have you ever looked in your crawl space either? I get it. Most of us don't even want to know what's in there, but moisture in your crawl space, it can create unhealthy issues that can make their way into the air you breathe every day in your home. It's Ramon Foster, and this is where United Structural Systems can help you. USS has been keeping homes dry and stable in Middle Tennessee since 1994, so you know they aren't going anywhere. Help control moisture and musty smells with mold treatment and crawl space encapsulation that comes with the USS guarantee. Encapsulation helps reduce high humidity in your crawl space. It also helps deter mold and mildew and protects your crawl space from pests and wood rot. So go ahead and turn your crawl space into a healthy space. Reach out to the company I trust for all foundation repair and waterproofing needs, man. That's USS. You can go to their website now at USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com, or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
What's up, Will Bowling here. You've heard me talk about how Lee Company makes life better for homeowners and facility managers, but did you know they do the same for their team? If you're looking for a rewarding career, Lee Company's hiring skilled tradespeople in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, sheet metal, and more. With 80-plus years in business, Lee Company invests in its award-winning team with training, benefits, and real career growth. You can apply today at leecompany.com/careers. Hey, Lee Company has been a business for More than 80 years in Middle Tennessee, trusted since 1944, with 14 community locations in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama. They're available 24/7, and I love partnering with Lee Company because they are a part of our communities, just like me and you. Proud partners of the Tennessee Titans, Nashville Predators, but they're also at Little League events, high school sports, local events, you name it. Lee Company, they're a Middle Tennessee business. It's a business you want to be a part of if you're out there looking for that next job. Head online, leadcompany.com/careers. That's Lead Company, all you need. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone. Wrap it up, hour one on this Friday morning. In the AFC South, of course, Titans and Raiders. We'll have it for you here on Titans Radio. Farm Bureau Health Plan's Titans Countdown getting started at 2 p.m. I'll have a conversation with Chika Okonkwo on the pregame coverage that you will want to hear. Elsewhere in the AFC South, Ramon, the Arizona Cardinals are traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Indy 4-1 for the first time since 2013. Kyler Murray averaging less than 200 yards per game, and they have lost by a combined margin of 5 total points in the last 3 games.
Tough.
What stands out about this matchup?
What stands out about it? Kyler Murray potentially not playing in it. And the fact that they got to go to the Colts. Colts, I think, roll them. I don't even think it's going to be close. To be quite honest with you, I don't think the defense is going to be strong enough to match what the Colts defense is, and Daniel Jones is cooking. Not just him, the offense. I mean, the losses that they've had, the loss that they had, I feel like is in a situation where they can correct that, and they're just moving in the right direction. Shane Steichen got his guy at quarterback, and it looks like a well-oiled offense. If the Titans are able to do what they did to them in the second half, right, as much as whatever that game turned into.
Yep.
Colts offense, I think, is that much better.
I feel like this happens a lot when a team loses a bunch of games close that they should have won. And you give a lot of maybe like overall B performances, but you get losses to show for it. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden you have a bad day and you finally get blown out.
Right.
And all of that just good that you've done, it's harder to keep doing good when the results aren't following. And then all of a sudden you get beat by 20. I think the Cardinals are in a spot like that going into this game.
Yep.
I do think it's an interesting matchup, though, because Arizona against the run has been pretty good. I think this is a Daniel Jones game. The thing is, I actually trust Daniel Jones to rise to the occasion and be able to carry the offense when he needs to.
Crazy.
So, the Colts second in pass efficiency. Cardinals are 18th against the pass, 21st in pressure rate. I think there are plays to be made by the Colts in the pass game. One nugget I did get from NFL.com that is crazy to me. Jonathan Taylor, this is from PFF actually. Jonathan Taylor is with minimum 50 games, one of 5 players to average 90-plus rushing yards per game in their career. The other 4 are Hall of Famers. Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, Terrell Davis, Eric Dickerson.
That's one heck of a group to be a part of.
Not bad at all.
God,
when he's healthy, he is still easily a top 5 back in this league, maybe top 3.
He's still in his 20s, correct? Like I feel like he's been around for a long time.
It definitely does feel that way.
But he's just made plays since like his rookie year. That's what he's getting.
Yeah, he's 26.
Yeah.
He turns 27 in January.
He's gotten the second deal,
Taylor.
correct?
And
right?
this is year 6. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
2-time Pro Bowler. He's had one season in his career where he's played 17 games is the problem.
But when he's out there, to your point.
When he's out there, he is
monster.
fantastic. Averaging 90.2 per game now. So just over that 90 yards per game mark that those other 4 Hall of Famers had for their entire careers. I mean, I think there are 4 backs, Ramon, that are in their elite own category of their own. Obviously, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor. You have anyone else you'd throw in there? I think it's those 4, then it's everyone else at running back.
I'm thinking of, I want to say Alvin, but Alvin's kind of taken.
Yeah.
He's gone down in altitude a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit.
That's about the only one else I can think of.
That team hasn't done him any favors either, has it?
No, absolutely not. There is nobody else right now. The running back position is different right now.
Quite honestly, I think the next guy to join that is the one the Titans are going to play on Sunday. I think Ashton Genty will be in that conversation by the end of his second season as a top 5 back in this league. I think he's that good.
Yeah.
I think he's that good.
For sure. Kenneth Walker hasn't taken a step like that. No.
There are a lot of other guys you could put in there just, in the top 10 discussion. Probably Josh Jacobs would be next, honestly. Or Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yes,
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs would be next.
But he's more of an Alvin Kamara type to me.
Yeah, he does everything. And he split so many carries with David Montgomery that you kind of forget about it.
Yep, I agree.
Seahawks at Jags. 2 big questions of this one. How does Jacksonville handle success? How does Seattle handle one of the longest flights that a team can possibly take in the National Football League? They are going from sea to shining sea, Ramon, this weekend as they head down to Central Florida to take on the Jags. Jags offense has allowed a pressure rate of 23.9% on their dropbacks this year. That is 3rd lowest in the NFL. Seahawks have the 8th highest pressure rate generated at 37.9%. Big spot for the Jags to prove that was not just a one-off over the weekend against Kansas City and that they, on a short week, with the detriment of a primetime short window from Monday to Sunday, can just do it again and be consistent.
I'm almost siding with Seattle with this one. Because again, the heartbreak loss that they had last week against the Buccaneers, like can you not lose twice to a Florida team? And that was a duel too between Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Like the way we feel about, I'll speak for myself specifically about Daniel Jones. Can Sam Darnold still be that guy that dueled against Baker Mayfield, or will there be a drop off? That defense is gonna get after him the exact same way that Tampa Bay did too, and it may fall on his shoulders more than anybody else when it comes down to this team. But again, that defense that the Seahawks has, though, too, can be very exciting. But it's a matter, to me, this is a Sam Darnold game to me.
73% completion for Sam Darnold to start the season. 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. 9.3 yards per attempt is a yard and a half more than last season.
Sammy boy.
And he was a Pro Bowl last season, nod. And one of the best quarterbacks in football, quietly again off to a good start despite the interception that cost him this past Sunday against Tampa.
Jackson Smith and Jigba also?
Mm-hmm.
Him.
The mold of receiver also that's working and that's playing well in the NFL is definitely changing. There are a lot of slightly built, quick, a little bit smaller guys that are starting to really play well. Emeka Egbuka's another one. That was on the other side of that matchup for Tampa.
Is he becoming the best wide receiver in Tampa right now?
I mean, Mike Evans has got a hamstring
injured,
thing, so
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's wide receiver 1, no doubt.
To your point, Jackson Smith and Jigba was 6 foot 197.
We'll take a look at Titans and Raiders when we come back. The number one thing the Titans have to do on each side of the ball to get win number 2. We'd love to get your thoughts on that as well. How much better do you feel about this Titans team coming off of the win over the Cardinals? 615-737-1045 as Hour 2 begins next. What's up? It's Will Bowling. If you've been listening to the show during football season, you know about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. Yeah, I've got the Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip just stacked up one on top of the other in the fridge right now because this time of year, it's dip season. It's not just football season. With chips, with wings, with veggies, while watching the big game, this stuff is terrific. As delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices. Other ingredients, too, that you'd find around the kitchen. Make sure you try some for the football this weekend. Check it out, Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
It is 7:02. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Titans back on the practice field on Thursday as Arden Key, Blake Hance, Marcus Harris, and Joey Sly all missed practice for a second straight day. Tackle J.C. Latham practiced for a second straight day in a limited capacity. Titans and Raiders this Sunday at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Kickoff is set for 3:05. You can catch Titans radio call right here on The Zone starting at 2 o'clock. Thursday night football last night as the Giants beat the Eagles 34-17. Rookie running back Cam Scatterboy led the way for the G-Men with 19 carries and 3 touchdowns. 19 carries, 98 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Rookie quarterback Jackson Dart was 17 of 25 for 195 yards and a touchdown and an interception in his third career start. Giants improved to 2-4 while the Eagles fall to 4-2. Vols football back in action after a bye week last week as they take on the Arkansas Razorbacks at Neyland Stadium. Kickoff set for 3:15. You can catch the Vol Network call right here on The Zone starting at 12:30. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Seven a.m. in hour number 2. Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Hope you're having a good morning.
I hope.
It's a good fall, brisk morning out there. Feels nice. Got fabric on your arms. We're getting close to sweatpants season, not just hoodie season. No, we're here. You've got a flannel on today.
I got a flannel on today, and it feels good having one on, too. Okay?
If Ramon even closely resembles a lumberjack, then I probably enjoy the weather outside.
You got a hoodie on, okay?
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate that, okay? You walked outside. I got on jeans today, okay? I walked outside, and I did the whole dad adult thing. I was like, ooh, this is nice.
Ooh.
But
we like this.
It'll get up to like 70, low 70s a day. So I'm gonna unbutton these sleeves a little bit and just be, chill. And then when I get to Knoxville later this evening, I'm gonna pull the sleeves back down. Like I'm equipped for Tennessee weather today. I'm just letting you guys know it's okay to enjoy the fall. Is what I'm gonna tell you.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Titans and Raiders on a Sunday from the Roomba. That is Allegiant Stadium. Excited to see what it looks like in there. What is the number one thing on offense, Ramon Foster, the Titans are going to have to do to win this game?
Figure out what style of ball they're going to play. Will it be behind center? Will it be up tempo? I'm confused. I'll be completely honest with you. Hopefully you have J.C. Latham who's back so you can establish a run a little bit better. Maybe you find yourself in a situation where you can control the line of scrimmage, where you can be a little bit more friendly in the passing game than you have been. That's where I'm at. What style of offense will you get? Will it be sitting behind, or will it just be simply running the ball and getting out of the stadium? Mm-hmm. I don't know the identity still.
Yeah, I'm just curious if something clicked in the fourth quarter in Phoenix. Was that because the Cardinals are just not a good pass defense, or did something really click to where Cam says, oh, I get it now? I don't know. I think we're going to find out on Sunday.
I don't either.
Because this is a winnable football game.
Yeah,
against a very vulnerable secondary, against a defense that does not get a ton of pressure on the quarterback. 18.2% of the time they get pressure. That's bottom third in the league. Only 8 sacks this season. If Calvin Ridley really is going to stand in the locker room and say, if he's throwing fastballs, we got to catch him. All right.
By God, catch it.
Then let's see. Let's see the consistency. Let's see you do it again.
It's that part for me. Legitimate. That's what I want to see. If that version of the receivers, the tight ends, show up too, and if it has to start with the tight ends first, that's fine. Those guys have what it takes too. They can make plays. Chig is a mismatch type of guy versus linebackers. Heck, some DBs if he runs over them. Like, there's a component of this team to where the answers are there. It's consistently going back to them. It's the issue that they've had. Calvin make a big play. The next thing you know, he's got 1 or 2 drops. There's an overthrow. You have guys like right now, I don't know what Alec Ayumanor is as far as his offense is concerned. Like, as of late, where has he been? It's a lot of back and forth, and I see this situation as like, decide which version are you going to be. You going to be run the football and tight ends until it opens up, or what?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. On defense, when the Raiders have the football, I mean, I just think, Ramon, it's as simple as it gets. Tackle Ashton Jeanty. I mean, it is truly that simple, and especially in the red zone. I think it's a kind of a sneaky thing the Titans have not been good at this year. NFL Pro tells us that in terms of red zone rushing, Titans are 32nd in rushing efficiency defensively in the red zone. Yeah. Raiders are 13th. So the Raiders run the ball very effectively when the field is condensed because Ashton Jeanty is just really good at staying off the ground. I think the other element of this where the Raiders, I think, have the biggest advantage in the football game is outside runs. Vegas' third most efficient rushing offense outside the tackles this season. The Titans are 27th defensively, defending outside tackle runs. I think you're going to see them put Ashton Jeanty in space. I think without Brock Bowers, who I don't think is going to play in this game, that's their wide receiver one. Jacoby Myers is not wide receiver one. Brock Bowers is wide receiver one. Yep. So if you don't have Bowers in this game, I think it's Jeanty left, Jeanty right, Jeanty up the middle. You just got to tackle him and not have some of the missed tackle issues you had in the second half of your 4 losses to start the season.
And they got 2 stars at this point. I think you can call Geno that because we know who he is. Geno hadn't been playing well, and you also have Max Crosby. Those 2 dudes on a weekend like this can't show up. Absolutely cannot allow them to turn the corner on you and look at you as a get-right game to where they decide they want to play real good ball. I hate when players do that. It's like, dude, where has this been all year long? But the way they've played so far, and Max Crosby hadn't been bad, of course. He's a double team. He's a chip guy. You always got to have your eyes on him. But he can't have a 2-sack weekend.
Agreed. Max Crosby, who's not off to a great start this year. Only 2 sacks, 10% pressure rate. Don't let this be his get-right game.
Yep.
That is the key on Max Crosby's front. I thought it was interesting when I talked to J.C. Latham the other day in the locker room, and not just me, all the media in there. He mentioned that there are some similarities between Jeffrey Simmons and Max Crosby in terms of their motor.
Oh.
That you will consistently see them on the opposite side of the field at the end of a play, playing through the echo of the whistle. Like, there'll be a screen left, and if Max Crosby's on the right side, he will come out of nowhere and just like a cannonball, torpedo into whoever has the football.
That's him. Absolutely. And that's why, like, for this upcoming game, Dan Moore didn't have a great showing against the Raiders last year when the Steelers played him. He tried to jump him real quick. He tried to get on them fast, and that's not the game that you want to play because, again, with a guy that's continually got a motor the way Max Crosby does, you want to settle in and try to make him determine. You're not trying to over-determine what you're going to do to him. As far as what I'm saying is this. Dan tried to carry the fight to Max Crosby. Max Crosby is one of those guys where you got to see and set and be patient. Are you wanting to go outside? Are you trying to bull rush me? If you predetermine what you're going to do against a guy like him, he will, if you jump him, he'll go inside. You know, he's one of those types of guys. If you just try to flash your hand, he's good enough to where he can bend the corner. He does have that motorcycle bend that Coach Mack and experts speak of. He can get around the corner like that. It's patience and it's understanding. It's like playing chess with a guy like him. It's poker with Max Crosby.
Justin on Facebook Live says, do you ease Latham in or just throw him in? Will he be on a snap count like Snead? You don't see linemen play snap counts.
No.
That's probably why you have waited to put him in as long as you've waited.
Yeah.
If that was a position where you could play him half the time, he'd probably already be playing.
Absolutely.
But I think you throw him in, and he's your right tackle on Sunday.
Yeah, no, he's a starter. He's going in.
Zach is in Hendersonville, and I presume has some things to say about some Razorbacks this morning. What's up, Zach?
What's up, Zach?
Good morning, Ramon, Will, Jackson. I just have a few things to say about some Hogs. And it's a perfect week for this, so let's get it started. Traylon, Titans legend, Burks.
R.I.P.
Gary, worst GM in the NFL, Jones.
Okay.
Danny, Schuler's knee is fine. Ford, that was for my old heads. I have a small poem for the Hogs, and it goes fat back, broke down Cadillac, Josh Heupel playing blackjack. Taylon Green and the pigs laying on their back. Bobby Petrino about to get his motorcycle stolen on Rocky Top. Redemption time. And the Hog's going to flop. It don't matter.
Vols by 50.
Come on.
Thank you,
Yes,
Zach.
sir, Zach.
Zach in Hendersonville brings it
Ready for the weekend,
every
man.
Friday before game day, right before we talk to Brent Hubbs.
Still his motorcycle, though.
Not the motorcycle.
That man got to get back home, Zachary.
Everyone grab your neck brace. We talk Tennessee, Arkansas with Brent Hubbs next.
You hit. It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. I keep telling y'all, that is the website you need to use. If you think you are too busy to go to the doctor, they'll come to you. If you need an IV, they'll come to you. If you need your labs done, they will come to you. If you just don't like going to the doctor like that and you love it to happen in the privacy of your home or just not around a bunch of sick people and germs and just the weight gain, guess what? Medical House Calls is who you need to reach out to, man. They are available to you 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. They have same-day appointments available and next day guaranteed also. Here's the cool part about it. You can call or text them at 615-838-2375. But again, I like to say to you, they will fit themselves into your schedule. Come to your door, whether you need labs done. If you also just need to get a prescription filled, they'll do that too. IV therapy is a part of this and all the things that you can get at a doctor right at your front door. Again, the website is medicalhousecalls.com, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Make sure you tell them, though, Ramon sent you.
Friday morning continues. Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, Mount Juliet, where you pick up a hot cup of Scooters to kick off your day. With Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined, as we are each and every Friday at 7:20, by our very good friend, Brent Hubbs of VolQuest and On3, who celebrated a birthday this week. Brent, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Hubbs.
Thank you, fellas. I made it another lap around the sun. We'll see if we can get another one under our belt. I appreciate the kind words. It was a great day yesterday with a lot of well wishes from a lot of people. I'm very blessed.
Love it. That's absolutely worth celebrating. Love it.
Did Peyton Manning also text you happy birthday too?
No, he did not. I'm not on the Peyton Manning contact list. Not for phone calls. He's always nice when he sees me, but I don't. I was 19, 20 when I covered Peyton Manning. He wasn't real interested in him. I didn't hear from him. I didn't hear from many famous people. I heard from you yesterday, Ramon. So you're famous.
Yeah,
so
that counts.
I guess that counts, right?
Yeah, I guess so. That's the second time somebody's called me famous, Hubbs. Like my sister-in-law did it yesterday. It's like, who's the famous person that's texted you back? I was just like, me? It's like, no, I'm just Ramon. I'm just Ramon, Hubbs. What are we talking about?
See, Brent had Peyton Manning when he was 19 or 20. I had Quentin Dormandy to cover when I was 19 or 20 in Knoxville. We are not one of the same. We're a little bit different there, Brent. A little bit different.
Take what you can get, Hubbs.
Quentin Dormandy was minding his own business this morning. He just got a crowbar. That's on me. Brent, as you look forward to Tennessee and Arkansas out of the bye week, what was Tennessee's focus of the bye? Was there one big thing you think this staff wanted to get corrected in the time off?
Aside from getting healthy, I think defensively it was about, tackling, certainly setting the edge, playing the outside run better. I think is where you are on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, just cleaning up things, and talking to Joey Halsley, he met the media this week and he and I had a conversation. They just feel like that while they've been good, they have left a lot out there, whether it's drop pass or just a misread here, running backs missing a hole or not being patient enough or, not maximizing the run the way that they need to, just cleaning up some things offensively. And I think defensively, when you're averaging nearly 11 missed tackles a game, I think it starts there in terms of cleaning stuff up. And then, setting the edge better in the run game certainly would be the top two priorities, I would think, defensively.
Brent, we've talked a lot this morning and this week about how David Hobbs' return isn't just about getting David Hobbs in the field. It's a more rested Bryson Eason in the fourth quarter. It's Dom Bailey being able to move back outside. It maybe makes Tennessee better at like two or three other positions. How big of an impact do you see David Hobbs' return making on this defense? And how many of the issues that Tennessee's had early in the season maybe get partially fixed, at least, by him coming back?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that it fixes anything in the back end,
right,
in the secondary, because you say, well, it helps your pass rush. Well, the pass rush has generated 21 sacks and leads the country. So, I think what it can do and what he does is he's just different than the other defensive tackles. He's got more twitch about him. He can be more vertical. He's a nice guy to pair with a heavier body like a Bryson Eason. I just think it makes you different up front, which is a challenge for offensive guards and different things in the rush lanes. You can probably stunt a little better with him because if he loops outside, he's got the athletic ability that more than some other guys to be able to play in space. So I think getting him back helps you there. It takes a little pressure off of some young guys like Isaiah Campbell, Ethan Utley. You can still put them in your rotation, but you don't have to lean on them as heavily as you were. So I think it's important to get him back. I don't know that it fixes angles with safeties. I don't know that it fixes communication issues in the back end where Tennessee's given up some plays. You hope that it does help your pass rush maybe on third down a little better, that some of the zone issues you've been dealing with in the back end can get cleaned up because you got somebody in the quarterback's face. But he's certainly a welcome sight back. I don't know that it changes a couple of things that are really bothersome to your defense right now.
No doubt. Joined by Brent Hubbs of VolQuest and On3 this morning. Hubbs, I don't think a lot of people understand that Sam Pendleton at the later part of the Mississippi State game had a rolled ankle, went into the tent, and had an ankle throughout the bye week, man. What is his health like? Jesse Perry's also coming out of it.
But both those guys are gonna go. They'll be ready to go. They're not on the injury report. They've been full go since middle of this week. Both of them spent time last week in the walking boot. It would have been dicey, I think, with both of them last week because of what they were dealing with. And Ramon, I got to give you guys up there a lot of credit. I guess you were this way, but I'm just kidding. Sam Pendleton went into the injury tent and basically looked at the trainer and said, "Don't touch my shoe.
Yeah.
Don't take my shoe off. Just tape it. Tape it as tight as you can tape it. I got to go play." Jesse Perry was in the injury tent, but because they helped him off, they took his shoe off, and he was the most restless guy in the tent because he just wanted it taped and get back on the field. And both those guys got him taped up as tight as they could get him taped, and Pendleton didn't miss a snap, and Jesse Perry missed, 11, I think, something like that. He missed the end of that drive, but he ended up being back out there at the end of the game as well. So just tough guys. Both of those are kind of old school throwback guys. And I talked to Pendleton last week. He said because I didn't even want to go in the tent, but they wanted me to go in there. And he said, I just looked at him and said, "Whatever you do, don't take my shoe off." He goes, because I knew if they took my shoe off, I was done. He said, just tape it up and let me get through, and then we'll deal with it afterwards. And he got through last week, and he'll be ready to go on Saturday. I think they're going to end up going back to that original 5 that they had going into the Syracuse game to start the game on Saturday. I think Perry's going to slide inside at guard, and David Sanders will get his first start at right tackle.
Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating situation because, again, you move Jesse inside, you got probably the biggest interior offensive line that the Vols have had in a very long time with Wendell Moy, Sam Pendleton, and Jesse Perry up the middle. Hubs, they're going to need it this upcoming weekend about in front of what Arkansas presents to them, and also with the new wrinkle. I don't know what Arkansas is going to do. I know their new defensive line coach is a former Cincinnati guy. He was with the Roughnecks in the AFL also, XFL, and they like to stunt and move. I don't know if they have that type of defensive line to be able to move side to side, but what are you, I guess, projecting this weekend can look like them against Arkansas's front?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that's the challenge of this game. If you're Joey Halsley and Josh Heupel and the offensive staff is – what are we going to get, and how quickly can we adapt to whatever they want to do? Now, how much of a new defense can you put in? I mean, you've had a little over a week. Can you put in a completely new scheme? That's hard to do, but your previous scheme was not working very well with the personnel you had, so what do you have to lose? So they may be more willing to kind of go unorthodox and make some radical changes. A season ago in this game, they completely changed what they were doing defensively and played 6 defensive backs basically the entire game. They played with 3 safeties on the field and tried to disguise who was in the box and who wasn't in the box, and sort of, tried to make, Nico guess and the coaching staff guess on what they were getting. And it took Tennessee. I mean, I don't know that Tennessee ever got a handle on it. They ran the football better in the second half, but that's where I think Tennessee is going to start is, what do they look like if they come out in 6 defensive backs? Then we'll adjust out of that. This is a very big Arkansas defensive front. Big. I mean, 320 plus is what they are. So I don't know how well they move sideline to sideline, Ramon. They're going to play a lot of odd front, I think, which gives this offense some issues in the run game. So there will certainly be a very quick feeling out process for Tennessee's offense to try to get a handle on what Arkansas is going to try to do, because they've been watching the Roughnecks. They've been watching Cincinnati Bengals tape. They've been watching Colorado tape. They've been watching stuff for the last 10, 12 years to try to get an idea of the personality of what this defense might be from Arkansas.
Brent Hubbs of Allquest, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. Brent, I know you've written about how Tennessee in the run game offensively, we've got high expectations, as always, for Josh Heupel run games, and maybe it's unfair to say this run game hasn't been great this year, but in a couple of SEC games, they have not met some pretty high expectations. What is your concern level on just Tennessee's running offense through a couple of SEC games so far, and how big of a point of emphasis is that in this game to kind of look like themselves again on the ground?
Well, what's interesting is they averaged 4 yards a carry against Mississippi State, which makes you think, well, it wasn't that bad.
Right.
But I think what they're dealing with is they're dealing with some inconsistency. There's too many 0-yard gains or 1-yard gain for what we are accustomed to in this offense. Now, they're not calling it as much as they did a year ago because they're throwing the ball so much better. So I don't know that they're going to put up the run numbers that we kind of expect them to put up or have expected them to put up. But there's some things they've got to clean up. I think they could be more physical in the interior, and that's no offense to Sham Umaroff, but I do think there's a chance that they get more physical in the interior. I think the other thing, too, is what does Darrell Sims do with a running back rotation? What do these backs need to be in a good rhythm? Are they backs that they can start Thomas just right out of the gate be in rhythm, or is he a guy that's better carries 11 through 18? I believe Deshaun Bishop gets better as the game goes on, but the most carries a running back's had in this offense this year is 15 carries, and that was Bishop in the Georgia game, and he got like 8 in the fourth quarter. So do they do something different with their rotation to help those guys get in a better rhythm of the game in some way? Is that causing any issue at all? I think when you have an open date, those are all the things that you look at. You look at all the scheme, but then you look at individual personnel. Is somebody better in the second half than they are in the first half? Is somebody worse? Are we playing somebody too many snaps? Are we not playing somebody enough snaps? Those are all the deep dives that you do when you have an open date like Tennessee had last week.
Brent, we asked Austin this week, and it's kind of been one of our running topics of the week as we've broken down Tennessee about what the Vols are going to have to do to make a playoff, not just from a wins and losses perspective, even though you think you got to at least be 10-2 in order to make it and be able to win either in the Swamp or Tuscaloosa, but just in terms of where this team has to improve, Brent. If we're talking in December about Tennessee making a second straight college football playoff, what are the corrections and what's number one maybe on the list for you of things that's got to happen in order for Tennessee to get to that point, looking from the broad perspective?
You got to get off the field on third down, which means your secondary play's got to be better, particularly in the middle of the field at the safety level. They're just look, teams are going to move the football against you. You got to bow your neck on third and long and get off the field. Tennessee's given up 8 third down conversions through 5 games of 7+ yards, and that's not a number that you like. 30% is the conversion rate for opponents when they're in third or fourth and 7+. You would like for that number to be lower. I think the other area where Tennessee has got to get better is red zone defense. Teams are 16 of 18 in the red zone against Tennessee, and 14 of the 16 scores are touchdowns. Tennessee didn't give up 20 red zone touchdowns last year, and they've already given up 14 this year. They're going to have to force some teams into some field goals, and when the opportunity presents itself in third and long situations to get off the field, they can't have that 1 or 2 drives a game where you look up and they've converted 4 third downs and all of a sudden they've driven the length of the field on you. That's what Georgia did. That's what Mississippi State did, and they're won. And then, you can't give up the bus back there. You can't give up the home runs. They got lucky that Mississippi State missed two deep touchdowns because Tennessee had busted the play. One, the receiver caught the ball and fell down. The other receiver dropped the ball. I know Tennessee did the same thing too, right? They dropped the ball. They had the bad pass interference call. Both of those should have been touchdowns. But Tennessee's secondary can't give up those home runs and explosives. So my answer to you, Will, is they got to be better on defense, and it starts in the back end and the secondary.
Hubs, where's the trust level on the special team unit right now? 2 weeks in a row, turnovers on the punt side of it. And also, where's at some point, Max Gibber's going to have to be called upon to make one of those game-winning field goals. Where's the trust level in him and the entirety of that unit right now?
That's a great question. What do they do in the punt return game?
Right.
Do they go back to Boo Carter exclusively? Do they feel like Boo Carter's too risky when the ball's in certain parts of the field? We saw them a year ago have kind of the fair catch guy, right? I mean, he was almost their punt safe returner that you put back there, and he just makes sure you have the ball at the end of the play. And then when the ball was in a different area of the field, you felt like you could take more of a chance than Boo Carter was back there. Boo's just got to make better decisions is what it boils down to. Fair catch. I mean, when your offense is as efficient as Tennessee's is, the most important thing at the end of that play is to have the ball. A year ago, it was different because you're having such a hard time scoring on offense. You're looking for hidden yards. You're looking for a play. Right now, you don't feel like you need that. Your quarterback's thrown for over 300 yards in 2 SEC games. He's put up crazy numbers to start the season. So just have the ball at the end of the play. I think that's been a big message in this open date, and we'll see where they go. My guess is Carter goes back there, but we'll see exactly what that looks like. I don't think you go back with Braylon Staley. The Max Gilbert situation is really pretty fascinating to me because he's kicked really well. He's missed one meaningful kick this year.
Right.
But he in watching him in warm-up stuff, he's been more inconsistent in warm-ups on game day than we've seen him than we saw him last year. So when does he reset? He went through a bad spell last year, and you kind of thought, okay, this guy can't be the kicker. I think he was like 1 for 5 at one point. And then he got everything fixed, and he closed on a heater. He made like his last 8 or something at the end of the year, and 3 or 4 of them were 50-yard kicks. So it's there. He's just got to reset and get his consistency back. Does Josh Heupel take more chances on 4th down if it's 4th and manageable as opposed to kicking a 52-yard field goal or a 48-yard field goal? Maybe. We'll see. I think that's going to all depend on how Max Gilbert is in warm-ups on game day and then go from there.
Hubs, man, it's also just a big weekend. Sold-out game. It's almost a norm now, man. But it's also Champions Weekend this upcoming weekend. And a lot of championship teams will be on the field this upcoming weekend. I know one for sure is Ron Slay and his basketball friends will be down there too. But how exciting is that to see these guys come back, man? It's the 2015 10-year celebration, 05, 2000, 95, 90, 85, and just every other sport that's involved in championship weekend will be presented this upcoming weekend.
Well, I think it's a really cool thing that they do, and they're honoring everybody who's done it. I mean, that 95 baseball team is a special group of guys, and it'll be great seeing a bunch of those guys back in town. And for those of us old enough, and Will, you don't qualify for this, the 85 team was our team. Yeah. For those of us who were in middle school, that's the team we fell in love with. When you say, what was your Tennessee team? What was the one that you remember that got your attention and created your fandom? For so many of us who are around 50, 51 years of age, 52, somewhere in there, it was the 85 team. Now, there's some older people that love it too, but that was the team. I mean, when you're in middle school, man, you're wearing Tennessee gear every day in the fall because Tennessee was good, and that came out of the blue. That's one of everybody's favorite teams, and hard to believe it's been 40 years, but certainly awesome that so many of those guys are back in town and being recognized. That 90 team might have been the most talented team to come through Tennessee.
Wow. Just
a ton of great players on that 90 team. So it's a cool deal. I mean, there are going to be some events for those guys on Friday night, and they'll kind of all branch off into their own teammates and go do their own thing, and hopefully recover well enough to get there and get on the field and be celebrated, as a part of the weekend. But anytime you can get those guys back in town and those ladies back in town, it's a really important thing, and it's a really cool thing because nobody's going to ever forget those guys, and those lettermen need to remember and need to feel that they've never been forgotten at the University of Tennessee, and that's certainly the case with these champions that are in this weekend.
It'll be the 2000 men's basketball team, and I was a young high schooler thinking I was going to be the next Shaq or Ron Slay as I was playing basketball with a headband on at that time. Football was secondary to me in 2000, just so you know, Hubs, until I went to Memphis and saw there was a 6'6" point guard.
A little different. Brent, real quick on the way out, speaking of basketball, I know Tennessee basketball at the scrimmage yesterday, and it feels like the Nate Ament hype is very justified based on a lot of the reports on how well he's played. How much you think Rick Barnes likes this team, and how much confidence is there around that program that again, can be another Final Four, Elite Eight type contender team?
Well, I don't know if love's the right word. It's probably a little early to say he's in complete love with this team, but they have a lot of pieces that they really, really like. They've got more depth in some key spots. They've got more options and all over the place. And Rick Barnes wanted to be able to go put the ball in the post and try to get a basket that way. Didn't feel like he could do that a year ago. You mentioned Nate Ament. He can play, obviously anywhere on the perimeter. He can even bring the ball up and play some point guard if you want to. I think Jacoby Gillespie has been fantastic, and that's not a knock on Zakai Ziegler in any way, but Gillespie has been really good and will play the position of point guard different than Ziegler did. He's got a little more size. He can finish at the rim a little better. I don't know if he plays as good a defense. We'll see how well he facilitates, because he's always been kind of a scoring first point guard. but they got a lot of weapons and they got a lot of tools. They got to stay healthy, as everybody does. But Rick Barnes is going to scrimmage Ohio State and Duke in an exhibition game. I think that tells you what he thinks of his basketball team, right? I mean, you're not. This is not just Davidson coming over for a private scrimmage. I mean, he's bringing in, no offense to Davidson, but he's bringing in all of the Power 4 people and the big bodies he can bring in. But because, he wants this team challenged every day that he can challenge them. So it's a long journey. We'll see how this team develops. But the jumping off point for this team seems really high, and Rick Barnes seems really excited about the jumping off point for this team.
Wowzers.
Brent Hubbs joins us Fridays at 7:20 here on the show on the Vol Network as well, alongside Ramon tomorrow for Tennessee and Arkansas. Appreciate the time as always, Brent. Thank you.
Thanks, Hub.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. You as well. Brent Hubbs with us, presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, your financial partner for every stage of life. It's going to be a fun basketball team.
Yes, it is.
Really fun team.
Actually, I'm a little shocked they got them ranked at 18th. But it's what is preseason?
Who does?
I thought it was ESPN.
I don't think there's an AP poll out yet.
Okay.
I don't know. That is so difficult to try to correctly evaluate in basketball, especially. I think they have got as high of expectations as they've ever had under Rick Barnes with that team this year.
I'm wrong. Well, it's 24-25. Never mind. New ranking. Ain't that
I've seen some rankings having them in the teens. I've seen some in the 20s, some top 10.
It's
we'll
preseason.
see. For sure.
We're learning that in football.
No, you're right. I think your point, though, is valid. That anybody putting them in the high teens to 20s, I don't think knows how good that team's going to be.
That's just it.
615-737-1045. A busy sports night. We continue to recap coming up. Preds in the win column. We can talk about that. The baseball was excellent last night. Maybe an everything other than football minute as we wrap up hour 2 coming up next. The pros go Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. Will Bowling joined this morning by my friend Trey Hartsook. Trey, fall is getting closer. We're playing football, but we're still dealing with this Middle Tennessee heat. If our grass is turning colors, how can you guys, with the best advice around, help out Middle Tennessee to take care of their lawn as the summer comes to an end?
Hey, Will, yeah, man. So that's something that we deal with here in Tennessee a lot, growing a cool season turf, which is fescue. In a warm season environment, which is Nashville in June, July, August. But there are some things you can do to keep that lawn healthy. And it all starts with what kind of soil structure do you have? Because you'll see in lawns that are very compacted that they're the ones that go the quickest. The Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, if you follow that 12-step turf plan that we have, if you haven't used them and you've had these issues in the past where you're kind of burning out in the summertime, stop in to see us conveniently located all over Middle Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lawnmower, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. If you can't get a hold of us, check us out online, DickensSupply.com.
Ramona Will at 104.5. The Zone continues, wrapping up the first half of the show. Open phone lines for the next hour plus. Then a loaded fourth hour. Tate Matthews at 9, Ron Slay at 9:20. Alyssa Lang from SEC Network at ESPN going to stop by around 9:40, which Slay might be learning for the first time as he's in the Evan and Big Chat this morning. So we may have Ramon, Slay, and Will talking to Alyssa about some SEC football at the end of the show this morning. Last night, the dream of 82-0-0 remains alive. Predators 2, Columbus Blue Jackets 1. Getting a win in Bridgestone Arena to start off the season. Ryan O'Reilly, a power play goal to start the third period. That was the difference. UC Saros was outstanding.
It was good
in this game last night. Predators getting off to a good start. Opening night win. And, UC was making some fantastic saves in this game. Good start.
I told Savage to go ahead and bet on that one, man. I was like, they got a good record against the Blues, man. So
Blue Jackets. 37 saves for Saros last night.
Was it 37 saves?
Pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. That's the UC Saros we need to see more of this year.
I can't imagine that many pucks like just coming at you like that. Absolutely not.
Stressful.
Yes, very stressful, Will.
That's got to be one of the more stressful positions in sports.
It's to me, it's hockey goalies, okay, and beekeepers. Like those, putting on that bee suit is the same way I think about like a goalie. Like legitimately, you're gonna get hit.
That's high level analysis right there, and I honestly respect it.
You respect it, and it makes sense at this point.
It does make sense.
You're gonna
Instead
get
of
hit.
bees, it's pucks.
It's pucks.
Which hurts more? 615-737-1045.
I'm just saying.
I love it.
It made sense to me.
I love it. Last night, LA Dodgers knocking out the Philadelphia Phillies in 11 innings. This one was insane. At one point, I had 3 screens going on. I had the laptop, the tablet, the laptop, the phone, and the TV on football. 2-1 Dodgers, and it was Owen Keckering with an awful error to lose this one. And I believe it's the first time one of these series has been decided on a walk-off error, at least in a while. Maybe first time ever. I probably should know that before I say it into a microphone. But I saw a stat of that yesterday. 2-1, the final. And congratulations, the Philadelphia Phillies. You are now on the first tee.
Yeah.
Really hate that for you.
Listen to you.
Couldn't happen to a better team.
Was wild is watching, like, you can't blame this one on like the roster of like, yeah, the Dodgers are just that good. They paid for it, because that's an error that was made that kicked you out. And the team that was finding momentum in the Phillies with the way they were starting to play the Dodgers, like extra innings at home, like to carry that back to LA if they had a won, it would have been, I mean, that's what you envision postseason being.
Would have gone back to Philly for Game 5. They had home field. Yeah, they were that close to going back to Philadelphia. Imagine what that crowd would have been like for a Game 5 after they just would have gone to L.A. and won 2 in a row after going down 2-0 at home in a best-of-5 series. Orion Keckering, the wild throw to catcher JT Realmuto on an Andy Pajes bases-loaded comebacker. There is a picture of Realmuto just pointing to first, like one, and then he's chasing the ball and the game's over. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So Dodgers will then get the winner of whoever wins Game 5 between the Cubs and Brewers, which is going back to Milwaukee. Cubs winning 6-0 last night. Many of you are Cubs fans, because I feel like every October I learn that half of the people I know in the world are Cubs fans.
Out of nowhere.
I know. But the Brewers dominated those first 2 games of the series. That's going to be a fun one. That's Saturday night. I also know a lot of Cubs fans that are college football people, like our good friend Ryan Shuppert of Rocky Top Insider, who is going to be stressed in the press box for covering Tennessee and watching Game 5 Cubs-Brewers.
I'm sorry to tell him I got to pull for Milwaukee on this one, man. A good friend of mine and VFL, Julio Bobon, is this year's first base coach for them.
I did not know that.
Julio, if you're watching the game, the first base coach for the Brewers is Julio. And you remember we went up to Arizona, the family and I did. And Julio,
I remember watching Julio at UT.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He hooked us up with their spring training out there, and he was just telling me then, he was like, man, we're going to play small ball. We're pretty good. I think we're going to be better than we think we are. And lo and behold, I saw him actually playing against Semos whenever they had a scrimmage against the Angels.
Nice.
and they're playing small ball. They're knocking it around, and they got a good group of young fellas, man, that are making some plays for them. I got to pull for the Brewers on this.
Tell you what, Pat Murphy is as likable as a person in sports right now. If you're not familiar with the manager of the Brewers, went through like 5 minutes of introducing himself and getting to know the new media members that are covering the playoff series before his press conference the other day. Just seems like a really good dude. Easy guy to root for. So that's the Craig Counsell Bowl. Craig Counsell, obviously the former Brewers manager who was replaced by Pat Murphy, who is now the Cubs manager, despite playing for the Brewers for a lot of his career, and I think most of his career, if not all of it. So should be a fun Game 5. I got a Game 5 tonight as well. Tigers and Mariners. Elite pitching matchup. Tariq Skubal going up against George Kirby. Look at us talking baseball on a Friday. I love
that
this.
type of stuff.
The game or the series deciding Game 5 there in that one. Winner gets the Blue Jays, who made Yankees lose earlier this week.
You showed me the remix of Big Papi saying that in the song.
Listen, I strive in my sports fandom to be just half as big of a hater as David Ortiz is of the New York Yankees. And I'm not even trying to dunk on Yankees and Yankees fans. I think even if I was a Yankees fan, I would respect how much David Ortiz hates my team.
No doubt.
Like, we all have the people that are on the other side of our matchups. Like, you know what? I just respect how much of a hater you are. David Ortiz with Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter sitting on the desk with him on Fox, just acted a fool every single game. And then he got Vladdy in the clubhouse to do the Yankees lose. It was so funny. So funny. You can't even be mad. Even if you're a Yankees fan, maybe you're too close to it and you're still mad about it. It's honestly still just so funny.
I told you, the two biggest haters right now in pop culture, Big Papi and Kendrick Lamar. Oh. Like, those two right there, the biggest haters. We need that. And he did it in front of their faces.
I know. Anyway, it is really funny. And if you're unfamiliar, the reason why he does that is John Sterling, the play-by-play voice, longtime play-by-play voice of the Yankees, after they win, will do, the Yankees win, the Yankees win. Which, trust me, I'm not exaggerating on what that sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
Maybe we could find that, Jackson, for the end of the next segment, just to show Ramon how insane it sounds. I say that respectfully. He's a legend, John Sterling.
No doubt.
But that's why David Ortiz does that.
Playoff baseball, I see somebody put on there.
So
it's good.
Man.
It's so good. It is.
It's my favorite postseason.
Because even when the games get away from them, like the crowd stays. Yeah. Like a regular season 6-0 win, like the stadium's empty.
So coming up, who is the bigger story at last night's Thursday night football game? Giants beating the Eagles. Is this game more about the Giants ascending or the Eagles descending? Coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Jewel Roofing and Exteriors. Man, let me tell you about my people, man. We had a lunch actually the other day with the owner, Robbie Van Norman, man. Super cool dude, man, that cares about the state, the people, the sports that are inside of it too. Lives right here in the city. This isn't some company that's outside that's coming into the community taking your money. Absolutely not, man. They pour back into it. They're trusted. Their family-owned Middle Tennessee company has been serving from Clarksville to Murfreesboro for over 25 years. Here's the thing. They stand out by building relationships and earning trust through referrals, never through high-pressure tactics or door knocking or storm chasing. Not at all. They do it by simply earning your trust. They'll tell you this. They'll get up on your roof and survey it however you need to. If you need work, they'll let you know this. If you don't, they'll get off of it and tell you, hey, call us when you have an issue. That's just simply how they do work, man. Again, for a company that you can trust with your roof and your house, you can call them 615-868-9999 or visit their website. It's jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
8:02. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Titans back on the practice field Thursday as Arden Key, Blake Hance, Marcus Harris, and Joey Sly all missed practice for a second straight day. Tackle J.C. Latham was at practice for a second straight day in a limited capacity. Titans and Raiders this Sunday at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Kickoff set for 3:05. You can catch the Titans radio call right here on The Zone starting at 2 o'clock. Thursday night football last night as the Giants beat the Eagles 34-17. Rookie running back Cam Scatabo led the way for the G-Men with 19 carries for 98 yards and 3 touchdowns. Rookie quarterback Jackson Dart was 17 of 25 for 195 yards and a touchdown and an interception in his third career start. Giants improved to 2-4 while the Eagles fall to 4-2. Vols football back in action after a bye week last week as they take on the Arkansas Razorbacks at Neyland Stadium. Kickoff set for 3:15. You can catch the Vol Network call right here on The Zone starting at 12:30. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show at hour 3 on Ramon and Will. Happy Friday. Happy fall in Middle Tennessee. Beautiful morning to wake up and smell the fresh fall air in Nashville, Tennessee. 615-737-1045. How you jump in. Lots more to come in a loaded final 2 hours. Tate Matthews talks high school football at 9. Ron Slay, I'm told he may even be in the building.
Maybe.
At 9:20. Alyssa Lang of ESPN and SEC Network at 9:40. We're going to have 2 of Taylor Zarzer's sideline reporters on at the same time.
That's big time.
Me and Alyssa Lang
now.
on the program coming up in hour 4.
Let's go.
Looking forward to that. Taylor and Alyssa and Matt Stinchcomb, their crew has Ole Miss, Washington State, as they see the best team in the SEC as a 33-point favorite.
That's crazy.
A lot of points.
That's a P4 school?
No. That is a Pac-2 school playing the Ole Miss Rebels. So we will talk about that, talk about the SEC, and who knows what else for the final couple hours of the show this morning. Streaming the show live, 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. The subscribers are going up. We're getting a little bit closer, Ramon, to 20,000.
Come on, y'all.
On the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel. Our numbers tell us that 40% of you who are watching, so we got a couple hundred of you in there right now, and 40% of you are not subscribed to the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel. Doesn't cost anything. Doesn't sign you up for emails. We're not going to message you. We're not going to annoy you. You're just going to help us, and it's going to cost you $0.00. So why would you not subscribe, Ramon?
It's just like somebody coming in the classroom just trying to get credit for a project that they did nothing for.
It's very easy to do.
It's easy to just come in and just write with crayons at this point. And writing with crayons is legitimately just subscribing.
This from Greg Harvey on Twitter, at Between the Nums, a statistician for Stats Perform and Opta. Cities in history to have their NHL team, NFL team, and MLB team lose in the playoffs and be eliminated all on the same day. Philadelphia yesterday, and Philadelphia on October 16th, 1983, end of list.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles losing 34-17 to the New York Giants last night. Dodgers beating the Phillies 2-1, and the Florida Panthers beating the Flyers 2-1. Tough morning in the city of brotherly love.
Yeah, it's hard out here, especially the way the Phillies lost, too. Like, that legitimately was a heartbreaker. And then on top of that, you have your team last night in Philadelphia just they looked like a real bad team.
They were making some mistakes, Ramon, and they had a defensive front that was getting pushed around in a way that I'm not used to seeing an Eagles team get pushed around.
No.
In the run game, in the pass game, Jackson Dart was fantastic in this game, and I'm telling you, Cam Scatabo is going to be a problem for a long time.
And listen to me, Brian Burns was getting sacks on Mailata. He was beating their guys just right up front in front of them, and there was no way. By the way, this is something I know it's probably an old offensive lineman thing, though, too. Like, there's a certain, like, aspect of, like, the uniform that's got to be played, like, and there's a certain swag that's thrown in there, too. Brian Burns got a sack last night legitimately because Jalen Hurts' shirt was way outside of his uniform, and he literally pulled on the shirt to drag him down for a sack. At some point, swag is cool, but at another point, you want to get out of those sacks, baby, go make a play. Tidy up just a little bit, fellas. I get it. Look good, feel good, play good. I'm all for that. But you allowed yourself to get sacked by a guy last night by pulling on your shirt. Brian Burns does look good. Abdul Carter being part of that defense also has its benefits too. So they got a real good squad. Is what they are. Kayvon and Thibodeau, all of them, legitimately a good team. Abdul Carter, like legitimately a good team, and it's a matter of when the offense catches up, I guess. And it looked like it last night. Was that a one-off? Does Philly have more internal problems than I guess we actually thought they had? And it's looking like the way watching that game last night and the way you've watched it before, looking at how Jalen Hurts throws the football to Devontae Smith does look a little bit different. Devontae finds himself being very friendly, though, I will say, to Jalen Hurts. It seems to me A.J. Brown in his situation is throw the ball deep to me all the time. I got to get it every single time, and I understand that. But it's fascinating watching those guys try to break up who's getting the football. That's a hard place for Jalen Hurts to be at right now.
Was this game more about how bad the Eagles were or how good the Giants were to you?
Surprisingly, how good the Giants were. That's where I stand. I thought, looking at that game, the way I evaluated it was the Giants whooped them. There was no...
They did, on both sides, too.
Yeah, they did.
Eagles ran 20 times for 73 yards.
And most times, though, too, the reason I say the Giants whooped them is because, and I told you before when watching the game, I said, woof, nobody want to watch this. Because Philly has walked into games and has just cruised to wins because they just out-talent you. Right. And I know, what's his name, Carter didn't play last night, too. The defensive tackle, Jalen Carter.
Yeah, they missed him badly.
But you still got guys that can make plays for you. You didn't lose that much as a team. And they got playmakers at every single level on that defense and offense. And then for the life of me, they got whipped last night by the Giants. That's the way I viewed it. It wasn't hey, they had a bad night. No, they stuffed you in the corner and didn't let you out.
I think Jackson Dart arrived last night. 17-25, 195, a touchdown, took 2 sacks in this game, but only for 1 yard. I mean, he's kind of so mobile and so athletic that even when he gets sacked, it's coverage sacks, and as he's trying to scramble, he gets back to the line and just kind of goes down at the line. But Jackson Dart in the run game, 13 carries for 58, 4.5 per rush. Added a touchdown, had 2 total scores in this game as a passing touchdown to Wan'Dale Robinson, who had 6 for 84. I think it's even more impressive that the Giants did this without Malik Neighbors, who they're going to be without for the season. So we'll see if they can sustain it. We're going to see how defenses adjust to Jackson Dart. I think there are a lot of people on social media doing the whole, oh, wow, did the Titans get the wrong rookie quarterback? You know, should they have traded back to get Jackson Dart? Let's keep our powder dry on that, because even if in just one season Jackson Dart is better than Cam Ward, we get a lot of sophomore slumps in this league at the quarterback position. We're not going to know who's the better quarterback until maybe year 3 between Jackson Dart and Cam Ward. So let's just pump the brakes a little bit on we should have taken the trade and had Dart. We could have drafted Scat. It's one game. That's game 5 of the season, or game 6 of the season, I guess, at this point for the Giants. Just be cool.
Yeah.
We could give credit to Jackson Dart without having to turn around and say we wish we had Jackson Dart. I'm still glad we got Cam Ward here.
So to your point, though, about Jackson Dart, though, it's fascinating watching him play football because, again, he's running around a lot. I know he can run, and he's got big-time runs at Ole Miss, too, but is that the way that the Giants want him to live? Because the reason he went to the tent is because his helmet got squished. Like, he's in and out of the pocket. I got to give it to him. He maneuvered it well last night against that Philadelphia defense, but that's a hard way to live life in the NFL as a quarterback if you want to be running like he is.
I totally agree, and I think defenses are really good at adjusting to athletic QBs over time.
I agree.
All throughout history. You've got to then learn how to stand in the pocket and deliver. The thing is, though, Ramon, he was doing that last night, too. He's shown the ability to take a hit and stand in the pocket and make an accurate throw. And, boy, his potential looks really, really good.
There's a comment that says, too, and I get this from Alex. Alex, like, they're glazing him because he's in NYC.
No.
I think last night was just a good game.
No, I mean, he beat the defending Super Bowl champs on a 1-4 team and put up 34 on the Eagles.
That man had his coach begging to get into the blue tent to come save him.
No, I don't think that's fair.
I agree. There's a big media in New York,
Sure.
but we can also agree that it also looked good last night, too.
He's earned the respect that he's being given.
Yeah.
I mean, without turnovers, they could be 3-0 in his starts. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Zach up next to the phone, 615-737-1045. Hey, Zach.
Morning, Zach.
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy
You too?
Friday.
So, in terms of the Eagles, though, is there really, like, on an NFL roster mode, like, where you can do addition by subtraction? Would they be better off with not having a disgruntled A.J. Brown? I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, too, and I thought whenever they got rid of Juju, I was like, man, he's opening up. I remember being at the Titans game when they were saying that he got his bicycle stolen like a few days before the game. But, man, I'll hang up and listen. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, Zach.
We've seen that addition by subtraction. I think Buffalo Bills got better when they removed Stephon Diggs, right? Minnesota got better when Stephon Diggs left, and, I mean, Jettis became a guy. Justin Jefferson became a guy. So there's that part of it. It does feel like the A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith experiment may need to depart. And it's early.
I'm not going that far
It's
yet.
early.
Yeah, I still think A.J. Brown's a guy you want on your team in
He
big
is.
games. And you just have to put up with diva receivers in the NFL.
But he's been diva-ing
Yeah, he is.
for like
That's
4
true.
weeks straight right
He played
now.
well the other night. I mean, he was productive in this game. I mean, A.J. Brown had 6 for 80.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert led the way, 9 for 110 and a touchdown. Devontae Smith only had 4 for 49. And Devontae Smith would have had a lot more if Jalen Hurts could have hit him on a wide-open touchdown pass. Wide open. I think the problem is more Jalen Hurts than it is A.J. Brown.
It's looking like it.
And I was laughed at for not having Jalen Hurts as my top 5 quarterback when we ranked QBs this offseason, but this is why. Jalen Hurts, too, and Kurt Warner had a good breakdown of it in the interception that he threw. It's cover 0, and he goes outside the numbers, and he's behind the receiver on an out route. Kurt Warner's like, you're taught as a quarterback, when you see cover 0 and it's just man-to-man across and everyone else is blitzing, throw over the middle of the field where your receiver has a better chance of releasing and getting open against tight man coverage. And he threw a bad ball behind a receiver. It got picked. Now, granted, that's his first pick in a really long time. Mm-hmm. But I still think that Jalen Hurts is just more a product of his surroundings than he is really an elite quarterback. He's really dang good. Don't get me wrong.
He's running the system.
Like, we're talking about champagne problems, but when he can't run and when you force him to beat you, that Eagles team is nowhere close to its best. Nowhere close to its best. 615-737-1045. More Titans and Raiders talk when we continue. What do you want to see carry over from the Cardinals game to Sunday? What is your expectation for Cam Ward? What worked against the Arizona Cardinals that needs to work again this week? We'll talk about Cam. We'll talk about Titans and Raiders with you coming up next. Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone continues in the second half of your Friday morning, streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Jackson Williams at the controls, Ramon Foster and Will Bowling. Titans and Raiders on Sunday from Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. Farm Bureau Health Plan's Titans countdown begins at 2, and this one begins at 3:05 here locally. Ramon, I have a feeling that maybe, just maybe, the fourth quarter was a launching point in Arizona for Cam Ward. Do you agree that maybe something clicked? And what specifically clicked that you want to see more of this upcoming weekend against the Raiders?
I think it was positive pressure. What I mean by that is the sense of urgency to knowing that the game was in your grasp. They felt what momentum actually was this time around. I thought in Denver they did. You saw the urgency that was there, except the flow of plays, I don't know, were, complimentary to winning a football game at that point in time. But I felt this time around, you couple that with connections with the quarterback and his wide receivers and tight ends, and also strategically running the football. I felt positive pressure was a big part of the success this past weekend. And guys actually followed through with the plan. And it wasn't just the players on the field. I felt it was the coaches too. It wasn't a whole lot of guessing and gimmicking and, hey, we're going to double pass and do reverses. It was straight down the field, north and south football, I felt like is what it was, and those were the benefits of it. Immediately, one of the jump starts of the drive was watching Chig catch a quick out route and immediately get upfield. What was it for? A first down. Like, it was those type of situations. Guys just simply winning, too.
It's made plays.
It was positive pressure applied to somebody else for the first time since Denver. I felt defensively for the Titans, pressure was applied to their offense, but the offense didn't respond. You saw it actually come together on both sides of it this time.
Cam Ward's still the lowest completion percentage in the NFL, 51.8%, his overall completion percentage. 6% lower than that of any other quarterback. He's completed a league-low 31% of his passes of 10-plus air yards. League average is 48%. He's at 31%. That from Next Gen Stats. I think to begin, Ramon, you want to see Cam be a check-down quarterback more. I think that's the biggest thing. This offense can continue to build off of Arizona if Cam just takes what the defense gives him. Now, that's easier said than done. Vegas plays as much zone as anybody in the NFL. They were second in the league going into last week in the amount of zone defense that they play. I really don't mind this matchup for the Titans this weekend, to be honest with you.
It ain't a bad one.
No. I think this is a really good time to play Vegas and try to just create a little bit of momentum. I mean, this team's not won 2 straight games in 3 years.
Dylan Parham and Jordan Meredith, the left guard and center for the Las Vegas Raiders, they got to be your candy bars. They got to be Reese's Cups this weekend. We're not even looking for the king size where you get 4 in there, Will. Them two together should absolutely feel pressure. That to me is where there's a hole in the ship, and you got to expose them.
Well, I'm glad you said that because Next Gen Stats had a note on this as well. Jeffrey Simmons leads defensive tackles with 20 total pressures and 13 quick pressures, 4 more than any other defensive tackle in the entire league this year. The Raiders have allowed the second highest interior pressure rate this season, 10.4%. In fact, the bright spot has actually been Jordan Meredith, the former undrafted player out of Western Kentucky at center, who's allowed a pressure on 4.9% of dropbacks this year, the 13th lowest rate among centers with 50-plus pass blocks. His pressure rate is 3% lower than any other starting Raiders lineman. So Jackson Powers-Johnson at right guard, Dylan Parham at left guard. Guys you're going to have to watch. DJ Glaze at right tackle, younger guy that's not been super consistent. And then they're without their starting left tackle as well still.
Yeah.
Vegas. Colton Miller.
Yep, Colton Miller.
At left tackle.
Right.
That's right. I think it's a solid matchup. So here's the thing, Ramon. If the Titans get second half in Phoenix Cam Ward and tackle Ashton Genty, they win this football game. That's it. I think the Titans win the game if they eliminate the big explosive runs and Cam takes what the defense gives him and can sustain some drives. Because if you let this Raiders defense get you off the field, then you start churning a couple 3-and-outs out there. Ashton Genty and that O-line are going to start leaning on you. They're going to smell blood in the water, and you're going to see another one of these 50 or 60-yard runs broken in the second half.
No doubt. And that's to your point, though, where it can be very problematic for the Titans, though, too, because, I mean, the rushing yards that have been given up this year are not favorable for the Titans at all. I'm talking about Denver.
It's the weakness of the defense.
It is. And that's problematic. That's also, again, where Tavondre Sweat will play a part in it. How close is he? Is he close at all? I'm not sure if you know that answer.
So he can't go this weekend. He's eligible to come off next weekend. I did get clarity on that.
Okay. All right. Well, that works then.
Because it's not retroactive to when you got hurt. It is it's 4 games from when you're placed on IR. It's not like baseball where if you get hurt on September the 5th, but then they put you on IR on the 15th, you don't get to count the first game you missed with that injury. For their 4 games required on IR, it just counts whenever you're put on IR.
Yeah, for sure. But that is, like you said, that's the one place where they have to step up. Because as with where Geno Smith has been playing so far this year, if Genty's out, you live a better life with him trying to find a weapon.
No doubt.
And respectfully, I say this to their lineup also that they have as a squad, too. Like, who they have catching the football from them, especially without their young phenom tight end, is very advantageous for the Titans.
Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Tennessee rookie Dante Thornton, Jack Besh, the TCU rookie who played a bigger role last week, and Pete Carroll has said he wanted to see more Jack Besh. Michael Mayer, I think, is going to be back. He practiced yesterday. The Notre Dame tight end, who I think is in his 3rd season, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, there's not a wide receiver 1 on that team. Brock Bowers is wide receiver 1.
No, it's not. But another part of this game to me, too, is early positivity. Like you said, the continuation. If you got to use Arizona as a jumping point for your season, be okay with that, too. And that's where, like, coaches, specifically in this situation, like, do at least extract the plays that you knew worked well for you.
Well, 100%. And I think, too, like, there's an opportunity here to prove that the Arizona game wasn't a couple fluky plays, but it was a spark that could ignite some sort of competitiveness. It would be really easy if the Titans don't play well in Vegas and lose to then go back to the Arizona win and credit that to a fumble in the end zone and a dropped ball on the goal line. So were those things that were just flukes that allowed you to get lucky and win 1 week? Or were those things you took advantage of to build momentum that then carried you into Vegas, that carried you into a 2nd straight win? Because all of a sudden, Ramon, they win this game on Sunday, you've got 2 wins in a row when Mike Vrabel comes to town. And we all know how important that is and how important that game is to Brian Callahan, to the organization, to Amy Adams-Strunk, to everyone. The Patriots game's going to mean a little bit more. They're not going to say that publicly. It does. I promise you. And being able to be on a 2-game winning streak going into it would be a very big deal.
And here's the other part. For all the sins that you've had as a team this year, being 1-4, you get this one. You get momentum going into New England. And then it's also the Colts and Chargers right after that with a bye. Like, these are AFC wins that can mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, more than anything. And as far as getting this one back-to-back win. So at that point, you know you have a philosophy in place or a method in place that shows that you know how to craft a game plan. Because I feel like more than just the talent on the field, I do look at the game plans offensively that's been called, and you kind of say to yourself, well, what were y'all thinking as a coaching staff? Right. We spoke about what Denver was, right? Like being backed up at your own 7 and throwing the football 3 times. Like, it's been that part of it, too. Or the questions of your playmaker or your play callers, and why did you kick right here? Why did you not kick right here? Why did you not go for it on 4th down? You got all of those answers in a winning effort, albeit a fumble, a pick, interception, fumble, touchdown. It don't matter. You got out of it with a win, and I think anybody that was watching that game or you inside of that stadium in Arizona, you felt the momentum go in the Titans' direction.
Definitely.
And the other part for me is this, too. Like, the strain of winning and not quitting. I'll say that part of it. Whether LeJarris Sneed tapped the ball or the wind of his hand threw it out of his hand, out of DeMarcado's hand.
Yeah, I'm right, DeMarcado.
It happened. You saw him hustle down the field. The positivity that I spoke of as far as like what you need in this, it's simply just that. I don't think they know offensively what they are as a squad still. if you get J.C. Latham back this weekend, you got to say to yourself, all right, we know the finish and the drive that we have as a unit is there.
Yeah.
If we can continue to run the football, get Tony Pollard going, if Tajay Spears has a bigger serving size on his plate this upcoming weekend.
I think he will.
Like, all of those pays dividends for you. The screen game up the middle, like, I don't think a whole lot of the defensive line that the Raiders have also, specifically up the middle. If Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears aren't up the middle running this football, then I feel like that's a problem too.
Yeah.
Stay away from Max Crosby.
Well, and that's what they love about Tajay is his ability to hit explosive runs. Mike Bergonzi told me that on Sunday before the Titans played the Cardinals. Said, we're excited to get Tajay back because of what he can do on the second and third level. Can you take some simple calls and turn them into explosive plays just because someone made a play? Because, Ramon, at the end of the day, like, that's just what this team needs. A play caller's best friend is someone just winning their one-on-one matchup.
Yeah.
I'd love to not have to talk about play calling and decision-making from the coaches because somebody just went out and took something that was really simple and not intended to be a touchdown play and scored a touchdown on it. What a concept, right?
I know.
This defensive line, you're right. It doesn't totally scare you.
No.
With Adam Butler and Jonah Laulu up the middle, Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson, the young player out of Texas Tech. I don't think Vegas is great at linebacker with Devin White, Landon Roberts, and Jamal Adams. Adams, who's been great this year, to be fair. But there's a chance here for the Titans to really gain some momentum. So here's my question, Ramon, for you and for our audience. 615-737-1045. Would love your take on this. How does the hot seat conversation change if you string together some wins? How does job security for Brian Callahan change, let's say, with a 3-game winning streak? If you parlay Arizona into a win on Sunday in Vegas, then you come home and you beat Mike Vrabel's Patriots. All of a sudden, you're 3-4 going to Indianapolis at the end of the month. Does that change the win, not if conversation that you've brought up about Brian Callahan, that about the coaching staff?
It has to. Because, so before they just got absolutely rolled by, who was it, Indy? I thought, in Houston. My mindset was they can't change. The way they got beat against those two teams right there, Houston and Indy, was just like, well, it can't get any better. This is as worse as you've ever seen it be. Now, he gives up play calling duties. That situation happens. Bo Hardegree has an adjustment period.
And that happened before Houston, to be fair.
Yeah, it did. It did. But Houston absolutely blitzed them, and they got rolled. There was no coming back from that one without J.C. Latham, too. So here's what you have to look at with evaluating Coach Callahan, I guess, now in hindsight. Your right tackle's been out, unhealthy. You're getting him
back this weekend.
You get Tajay. If Tajay role grows a little bit more too, right? The incorporation of who your playmakers are. If you find those and you find flow and cohesion, and Cam's passing percentages get better, and you do string up wins, you do have to get to a point, at least looking at this thing from a long-term investment, it's not the now, it's the later. Like Brian Daboll survived being a head coach. You see him attaching himself to Jackson Dart.
Sure. They seem dead in the water. His tenure there seemed totally dead in the water. Can the Titans have a Giants-like resurgence as their rookie quarterback learns how to be a pro? That's the question.
And the other part is, too, like, Callahan seems, and we've said this out loud, seems to be learning on the job.
100%. Anyone who's not been a head coach before, who's only, 22 games into being a head coach in their lives.
And already having a major change as far as GMs and stuff like that, first draft class, the conversation has to slow down, is the way I'm looking at it. It has to slow down by the concept of winning.
And I think there is an idea out there that Amy Adams Strunk, I think, has an understanding of the fan base and the conversations around her football team, and maybe some of the quick decisions that have been made in the past. From all the reporting we've had and from everything you hear and from just the decisions that have already been made, they really want to be positive that things aren't working before they make a major change that they can't undo. And I think they really don't want to be hasty, and they don't want to double down on change for the sake of change unless they feel like they absolutely have to. That's why I don't think you're going to see a change made in season of any other way other than just the play calling you've already seen handed over, because they desperately want to see continuity on a team that doesn't have much. It is a team with a brand new offensive line. It is a team that no longer has a lot of the leadership that it's had over the last 2-3 years. With a head coach and a quarterback learning on the job, I still think a lot of the Titans' lack of success is on Cam Ward's learning curve. Because, again, we got to remember, as Aditi Kinkawala told us this week, he was playing wing T quarterback like not that long ago. It's going to take time with Cam. Brian Callahan deserves the opportunity to work with him and work together to see if, again, Sunday in Arizona wasn't just a spark, but maybe a fire. And maybe something that can actually be a consistent, stackable performance. We're going to find out.
It's one thing, and I'd love to hear y'all call in on this one too, but it's one thing, Will, that you said and Aditi have said, and I've noticed too. He, as bad as it's been, Brian Callahan, has not lost the locker room.
He hasn't. He just hasn't. I was really glad to hear Aditi confirm that for me Tuesday, that my eyes are not lying to me in what I'm seeing on the sideline. It's not a bad attitude down there. Now, granted, yes, there are guys frustrated. Yes, there are guys that'll toss a helmet. Yes, they're not happy. I'm not saying that they're just content with losing. I'm saying that they're still communicating with each other, that the coaches are having back and forth dialogue, that the veterans give a crap, that the young guys are listening and talking, that Calvin Ridley is coaching guys, that guys that are hurt are coaching players. Like J.C. Latham and Tajay Spears have been around their position groups every week that they have been hurt to basically act like grad assistants and coaches.
Jeff is backing them up.
I don't think that's totally normal, Ramon. To have injured players take such a big... Again, it's not everything. Doesn't mean that everyone gets to keep their jobs and everything's hunky-dory. Like, they've got to play better. But I'm just telling you that I don't think my eyes are lying to me, that it's not a bad culture. They just got to play better football. And on Sunday in Arizona, they started to. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Early positivity has to be the part of the play this upcoming weekend.
Well, and just from a schematic standpoint, like if the Raiders get a lead and all of a sudden Genty is just running left, running right, and you can't stop it, it's going to be a hard game to come from behind and have success in just because of how well Vegas runs the ball and how dangerous I think that back is. I think Ashton Genty is a superstar in the making. I think he is a big problem for the Titans on Sunday. He is the problem to solve in this game. Where are you at on job security, on Brian Callahan, on what if they go on a run? What if that happens? Are you willing to be open-minded about this coaching staff's ability to improve matters in Nashville? 615-737-1045. We'll get to your thoughts next.
Honesty means everything, especially when you're buying a vehicle, and that's why I purchased my new Fords from Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers Ford has real deals. And what do I mean by that? At Two Rivers Ford, the best price is clearly marked on their website or window sticker. You don't need to fill out a form with your information to get the best price. You don't need to do anything. And unlike other dealers, Two Rivers Ford never adds accessories or service plans in order for you to get the best deal. At Two Rivers Ford, the best clearly marked price is always available, always accessible, and here's the thing, it's always real. There's no fabrication whatsoever. And if you do want those extra accessories or warranties, you can just simply request them when you purchase them, all right? Honesty is always a policy at Two Rivers Ford, which is why they're the South's most trusted Ford dealer. So for the best price and a real deal, get to Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet. Visit them online at tworiversford.com, or the best part right here, call one of their non-commissioned sales team at the toll-free number 800-900-1000. Two Rivers Ford. Make sure you tell them Ramon sent you.
Wrapping up hour 3, Ramon and Will. Fueled by Scooters Coffee. We asked you a question before the break. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling. What would your feeling be on this coaching staff if they win 3 in a row? Winnable games. Vegas, New England, on the heels of a win over Arizona. Mike in Cleveland is next up on the phone. 615-737-1045. What's up, Mike?
Morning, Mike.
Morning, my people.
What's happening? Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
2 honks today.
Hey, yo, so on the effort, which I was talking about with the effort, them not giving up and everything, when I was on hold, I was thinking about it. Really, that effort is really coming from the defensive side of the ball. That's what it looked like to me. Like, it looked like, we've seen them hold the opponent to, low scores, keep giving the offense opportunity to try to put something up. And this is what's really worrying about me as far as keeping Callahan. Denard looks like he is out coaching Callahan. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I don't mean to be negative or nothing like that. Maybe that doesn't make sense saying it out loud. I don't know, but it looks like the Denard and Bones could possibly be better coaches than Callahan. So what would suck is if Denard takes the head coaching job and is more successful than Callahan coming out the gate. So I'm just like, as far as his effort and everything, let's not forget what they're doing on defense. Big Jeff, and this past Sunday definitely was on the defense not giving up. And so, yeah, offense, it's time for them to step up and start catching and holding on to the balls. Or it's just going to keep on looking like Denard is the better coach. And so, that's
I will push back just a little bit while you're here with us, Mike. Just because Denard got more seasoned guys than Callie got, like the head of your side of the ball offensively is a rookie. Then you got a second-year right tackle who's been injured too. Like, I do get what you're saying as far as like Denard and Bones doing a lot with what they have. But legitimately looking at like the setup of it, and it's not to make an excuse for Callie, but the way I view it is this, though. It is harder for the offense to catch his win and a whole lot easier for the defense. Like, individual wins do happen on defense more, or they lose more and you don't notice it. And the other side of it, as far as Denard, too, as we spoke about it a second ago, like the run defense does have to play a better part, too. And how they're, presenting themselves on Sunday.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. You the expert.
No, I'm just, if we're going to do this sports talk thing, then we got to have, I don't want to talk about you when you get off the phone. You know what I'm saying? I kind of want to talk to you while you on here. That's all.
Sports talk back and forth.
Yeah, it's an open concept over here.
But is that a fair assumption that we'll just say this past Sunday and the past games, defense has been holding up this whole team, but that's what you want with a rebuild and a rookie and young offense.
Till they catch up.
Strong defense.
Yep.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that goes to my other point of keeping Big Jeff, and I'm ending it right there. Peace.
Thank you, Mike. I say the only pushback I would personally have is look at what Kansas City did 2 years ago when they won a Super Bowl with defense. And Andy Reid is an offensive coach. Yeah. If you're the head coach, you get credit for whatever your staff does, even if that's not your side of the football.
That's true.
In my opinion. Like Josh Heupel last year at Tennessee, it's almost a credit to Josh Heupel. I know it's college football. It's a little bit different. Like Josh Heupel gets credit for Tennessee being a playoff team. Doesn't matter if the defense led the way.
Right.
Like he created the staff, the recruiting, the infrastructure for the defense to be what it was. And I mean, in 2023, the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl and went 11-6 in that regular season.
Right.
They were 15th in offensive points per game and second in defensive points per game.
Boy, they still get credit. That's his unit.
Tom Brady and Peyton Manning both have Super Bowls late in their careers with defense-first teams.
Nobody speaks about the Patriots' defense and special teams the way they should.
No, not even close.
They don't speak about how dominant they were.
100%. So I see what Mike means in that, yes, when you're an offensive coach, your offense has got to be more dynamic and it's got to do more. I get it. But you also still get credit for identifying good staff members and putting them in positions to be successful.
I know he don't get much credit for firing his friend because he needed to be, but he let go of his friend and Bones Fossil was available to him.
Bones is just awesome. Bones is awesome. I don't think there's anyone in the world that loves special teams as much as Bones Fossil.
But think about the staff that he had set up, though, too. Like, he needed a Bones Fossil on his staff to help guide him.
That's right.
I don't know what you're saying, but it looks to me the communication is immense between him and Coach Callahan.
That's absolutely right. Coming up, a loaded fourth hour. We got 3 guests for you coming up over the next 60 minutes. Tate Matthews, Ron Slay, Alyssa Lang. We'll start off with Tate talking high school football next.
Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken. They know a thing or two about hot, so they are bringing you the hottest moments of the week from Ramon and Will. Justin Hawkins here. This is a segment I like to call Prince's Hot Mic.
I feel like I'm going back to bed hearing this. What is this? I like Kane Brown. I know the song, but we gotta get going a little bit, Justin.
I was feeling some Kane Brown this morning.
The song's about going to bed with someone. We just got out of bed.
Sounds like I need to listen to Kane Brown. I like his voice, man. No, for the voice, not the going to bed.
For the going to bed. All right. Okay. Here we go.
I love anyway. Charles Davis voice right there. Okay.
Hot mics and hot chicken. Prince's knows hot. Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken.
9 o'clock on the dot. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Titans back on the practice field Thursday as Arden Key, Blake Hance, Marcus Harris, and Joey Sly all missed practice for a second straight day. Tackle J.C. Latham practiced for a second straight day in limited capacity. Titans and Raiders this Sunday at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Kickoff is set for 3:05. You can catch a Titans radio call right here on The Zone starting at 2. Thursday night football last night as the New York Giants beat the Eagles 34-17. Rookie running back Cam Scatabo led the way for the Giants with 19 carries for 98 yards and 3 touchdowns. Giants improved to 2-4, while the Eagles fall to 4-2. The Nashville Predators opened their season with a 2-1 win over the Columbus Blue Jackets last night at Bridgestone Arena. Ryan O'Reilly scored early in the third to give the Preds the lead, and they held on. Preds host the Utah Mammoth on Saturday at Bridgestone Arena. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 4. Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Final hour of the morning and week for us. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Jackson Williams making the show happen for us, filling in for Justin this morning as we are joined Fridays in the fall by our very good friend Tate Matthews, previewing the high school football night. As we also got one to recap from last night as well. Tate brought to you by Freedom Boat Club. Tate, good morning. How are you, sir?
Morning, Tate.
Good morning, fellas. Beautiful Friday morning out there today, isn't it?
Yes,
Sure it is.
Yes,
Feels like
it
fall.
is.
We got senior nights happening around Middle Tennessee. There are homecoming games happening around Middle Tennessee. And to talk about it all, Tate, you are presented by our good friends at Freedom Boat Club.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Another beautiful weekend. They just keep extending it for us the summer, right?
That's right.
Another beautiful weekend to be out on the lake. And Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee, if you are looking for a way to get out on the lake, but you don't want to purchase a boat and don't want to have to go through all the hassle of what comes with owning a boat, well, they've got it taken care of. They own the boats and you just use them. They buy them. They maintain them. You reserve them online or on the phone and show up to a fleet of brand new top-of-the-line Tri-Tunes. They've got bow riders, double-deckers, and also the surf boats if that's what you're into as well. So you pay a one-time entry fee. Once you pay that, whether you go active or inactive, you're always in. And then when you are active, you pay monthly dues. It's a no-brainer. You can go to all 4 of the lakes in Middle Tennessee. You can go to the 4 in East Tennessee. And again, you don't have to worry about this time of year getting your boat out, where you're going to store it, winterizing, getting the things fixed, all of those things. They take care of all of it for you. So all you got to do is go to freedomboatclubtn.com. Now's the best time to join.
Well, Tate, let's begin recapping an incredible game. Last night, Antioch and Andre Adams at quarterback, 8-0 to start the season, 64-62. Their win over Franklin Road Academy, an excellent program with former Titan Justin Geisinger, the head coach there. That's a really good FRA team. That is an Antioch team now, Tate, that goes into the bye week 8-0 with a couple region games left. Jeff Levy was in the building for this one, Mississippi State head coach. Andre Adams is a superstar, and Antioch is legit.
They're 8-0. What a great story it is. Remember, Franklin Road Academy was unbeaten going into this game, beat Battleground Academy a couple weeks ago. And, I knew FRA would be able to score, or we thought FRA would be able to score, right? And we knew Antioch would too, but 64-62, it's just, as long as Andre Adams is there, don't ever not go with Antioch. Every time you think, okay, this one's probably going to be a tough one for them, they just end up getting to win, man. But 64-62. Remember earlier in the season, he set the TWSAA record for yardage in a single game. He had 489 yards last night. He had 9 touchdowns. 9
touchdowns.
Yeah, I think the state record's 11, right? Wasn't that a few years ago?
So there, somebody asked this earlier this morning. There is somebody like and I kid you not, 100 years ago, if you want to count this, who had 13 in a game, Tate.
That was probably before Tito was AA, though, right?
Yes, I believe you're right. That
was that was back before they had face.
Yes, that's true.
Go ahead, say it, Tate.
Right. Yeah. So, but again, 9 touchdowns. He did 5 in the air and 4 on the ground. I mean, he's unbelievable, man, and he does it every single week. Franklin Road's a really good team. And,
yes.
Man, I think it's so cool what Coach Broom's doing. He just says, hey, they've only got 6 linemen that they can use on offense and defense. So, he's subbing guys in on that defensive side, and the way he's managing the roster, because again, we're in tough games, and those guys, especially on the line, need some breaks. So, I think he's done an unbelievable job with that. And then a few weeks ago, he decided, or earlier in the season, hey, we got the best quarterback in his opinion in the state. And when he's on the field, I always bet on him and bet on ourselves. He's pretty much quit punting. He did not punt last night. He did not kick an extra point last night either. He went for 2 every single time. They converted over half of them, and that ended up being the difference in the game. But another huge performance by Andre Adams, Brandon Galladay, another guy. They don't have the final stats yet. He had 10-plus catches, 200-plus yards, and 4 touchdowns. Coach Broom said any of the schools that are not recruiting him, they're missing out big time. I believe UT Martin's offered him, but the rest of them, they better get in line pretty quick because this guy is a player, as we know. And then, I guess not the coolest, but another cool story of the night, Andre's little brother, Aiden Adams, had the interception on the 2-point conversion at the end of the game. FRA had made it 64-62. They're going for 2 to tie it. And Aiden Adams, Andre's freshman little brother, made a one-handed interception to seal the win. I don't think the game ended until 11 o'clock, maybe a little bit after. Think about that.
I was asleep when the game
No lightning delay either.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be asking to skip school on a day like today. Or no, would I want to go in and flex? I don't know which one it would be, Tay. But what I do know is this, man.
Show up late.
Yeah, show up. There it is. With breakfast.
I'd say it's earned.
Here's what I do know. This rivalry right here with CPA and Innsworth, man. TV crews will be there tonight. How you see this one going, man, as these two teams always battle it out?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, and this one's a tough one to figure out with these two teams. But it's a region game, so they've been playing for years, but they have not been region foes. So it's D2 AAA playoff seeding and which side you go is very important. But it's a team. Their programs know each other very well now. With Coach Hasselback, it's a little bit different. Coach Martin and him have not gone against each other, but that's going to be fun to watch. But it's a region game, number one, so that's very important. And then CPA was sitting there at 1-5. They finally got back in the win column last week at a hard-fought 16-15 victory over NBA, which was a region game. And then Innsworth played really well and got a easy win against Nashville Catholic last week. So I think it's big for both of them going into they're going to have fall break, and then they both got 2 more region games. Innsworth's got Catholic. CPA's got Catholic and McCallie, and then Innsworth's got Baylor and NBA. So a big win, a big game tonight, and it would be a huge win for either one of them. One for playoff seedings, but also just for their mindset going into fall break and then finishing off with those 2 games. But you know what Innsworth's going to be. They're going to play really well on defense. You're going to get good quarterback play out of Hasselback and EJ Gibson running the ball. And then I think CPA really wants to try to figure out what they are offensively this week. And I wouldn't be surprised, even though Jack Van Orman's playing great and at quarterback and is probably got the best arm Coach Martin's ever had as a quarterback. I think he would agree with that, the best arm. Ryan Elledge is still my QB1 and will always be. But I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see CPA kind of get back to that running game that they're known for with that offensive line and Rawls Patterson tonight.
Gotcha. Also, on the back end of it, man, I have to ask you about this Tyner and Nashville Christian. We know what Nashville Christian is. Also, how do you see this one going with the team out of Chattanooga or East Tennessee and Tyner?
Well, they're both unbeaten And so, I know a lot of people are pumping this up as the battle of unbeatens, but I don't know, man. Tyner Academy, as y'all know, out of Chattanooga, really respectable program. And they've got athletes, they're well coached. They've always got athletes. They're always physical and guys that can really run, but they've got some nice wins on the year, but I don't know, man. Chattanooga Prep, they gave up quite a few points to Chattanooga Prep. Now, maybe that was when the young guys were in and the game was out, but they gave up 37 points to Chattanooga Prep. Nashville Christian could break the scoreboard on them tonight if they do that. So Mr. Curtis is healthy and ready to go. So, Nashville Christian hasn't been really tested since Ensworth. I would think this one could not be good. Prep last night, I don't know if you all saw that. They were down 44-0 at halftime with BGA. BGA was playing their twos, and Prep said, "Y'all win. We're headed back to Chattanooga at halftime." So, anyways,
wow.
I would think Mr. Curtis will be on the sideline beginning of the third quarter.
Wow, that's insane.
And then Tate, we also got one of the oldest rivalries in Middle Tennessee going on tonight. Father Ryan at MBA, head coach Zach Mettenberger of the Father Ryan Irish. You got a first-year head coach at the MBA side of this thing. MBA, a really close loss to CPA, 16-15 last week. They played a lot of close games. They've got Father Ryan at McCallie at Ensworth to finish the season. Eli Drinkins of Missouri hasn't played a schedule that difficult this year, Tate. What do you see in this matchup, Father Ryan, NBA?
I like how you slid that in.
That's good, right?
Well, hey, that was good. Well,
that was good. He good at it from time to time, Tate. He'll poke real quick and get out the way, man.
And then act like he didn't do it.
That's right. That's right.
Two first-year head coaches in this game, right? But make no mistake about it, Coach Chauvin is a Father Ryan grad. He knows the importance of this game to a lot of people, man. I don't know that any game in the mid-state has, as long of a history of it. And when you're talking about the old-timers now, this game is still very, very serious to those guys. Coach Donnelly, Mike Wright, guys like that, right? So, and remember, Coach Rector, his last year, Father Ryan broke the streak against NBA and got the win. So don't think a lot of people don't remember about that. But this is an important game. Chris Chauvin, the head coach of NBA, and so he knows the importance of it for sure. But Father Ryan's trying to figure out who they are. Offensively, just haven't had a whole lot going this year. And, sitting here with one win, except for the one against Overton in week one, they haven't gotten on the win side yet. So NBA had a really tough game last week against CPA. Kind of felt like they could have gotten that one. But I think you'll see NBA bounce back and get another win tonight. And then they both go into fall break and finish up their region schedules as well. So, but it doesn't matter the records anytime you got FRA and NBA playing again, because this game goes back 100 years probably.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't think NBA people aren't thinking about ending that streak last year and wanting to get back on the win side this year.
Also a game that was probably played before face masks. Father Ryan and NBA.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. Tate Matthews joins us Fridays of the fall, week 8 already of the high school football season tonight with a lot of good ones. Tate, appreciate you as always, sir. Thank you.
Y'all have a great weekend. Safe travels to Knoxville today, I guess, probably Ramon. And we'll see you, buddy.
Hey, by the way, is Brentwood Academy really that good, man? I know somebody that went there. I just want to know.
I think they are.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I think they are.
I was there at my 10-year high school reunion last weekend, Tate, to see him in person. First time I've been in a BA game, not broadcasting it since I was a freshman in high school. Was a little bit of a weird experience.
What did they do? 10, 20, and 30? My brother-in-law was there for his 30th, which blows my mind.
Yeah,
But he's been out for 30 years because he's younger than me. So, Moan, I think they are, man. They're really, really good offensively. You know about all the skill.
Yeah.
And Coach, the offensive line's gotten a lot better, and the defense has gotten better. So, I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards a Baylor Brentwood Academy final in Chattanooga.
Man.
Love it. Tate
All
Matthews,
right,
our
Tate.
guest. Tate, thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it, Tate.
Talk to you next Friday, boys.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. All right, Tate Matthews with us. I tell you what, hey, I'm going to make a big comparison. We're going to get to Slay on the other side. I called Jalen Ramsey's games when I was in high school at Brentwood Academy.
Yeah.
The kid they've got there at wide receiver who just decommitted from Oregon, Keyshawn Bowman.
Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of what Jalen Ramsey looked like when he was a junior at Brentwood Academy. Jalen got a lot better, and Jalen kept ascending.
Yep.
So, haven't arrived yet. Your junior high school, there's a lot still to be done, a lot of football left to be played. I'm telling you, that kid is special.
He looks like.
I mean, 247 has him as a 5-star for a reason. Number 5 receiver in the country for
He's 20,
class of
28?
2027. He's a junior.
27. Okay.
Junior. Remember the name Keyshawn Bowman, the next
Bowman.
great skill player to come out of Middle Tennessee.
Track kid, too?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. Anyway, that's all I'll say. That's a big comparison to make. I don't make it lightly. Coming up, Ron Slade joins us next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Yes, they service all of those things, man. And let me just tell you, this is somebody who personally uses them. They're good. They're real good at what they do, man. Their motto is happy you'll be, the service is free. And that's just truly what they mean. If they have done something to your home or fixed something and you're not happy with it, the service is free. They'll try to make sure they do all things to make it right, man. And here's the thing. Most of the time, you don't even know what it's going to cost you or if it'll get fixed right. If somebody is trying to sell you something that you don't need, when you call Hiller, the experts are going to solve your problems quickly. And the price you're told is the price that you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. They'll itemize everything about your service inside your home, show it to you on the tablet, have you sign off on it, send your receipt to your email, whatever you need, they will do that for you, man. They've been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated. Their techs, very professional, experienced, trustworthy, and they're all background check and drug screening too. Listen to me, to book with somebody that like I do or to learn more about them, simply visit their website at happyhiller.com.
Ramona Will continues, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling. At Ramon Foster, at Will_Bowling. Remember when Friday Follow was a thing?
Yeah.
You do hashtag FF, Friday Follow, then you name a list of people to follow. Follow us on the socials if you're not.
And listen to it, man.
At Ramon and Will on Twitter. At Ramon Foster, at Will_Bowling, spelled like the arena, not the sport. And you'll get even more of our content there. I'm trying to do more TikTok stuff, too. Hit me up over there.
I'm lightly getting there.
But we both are. We're wading into the waters. Yep. Hold on.
That doesn't help myself at all, do it? I got a TikTok.
That's
I
okay.
got a TikTok now, too. I don't even know the name of my account.
That's okay.
It's probably my name.
Just look for Ramon Foster. He's probably there.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of followers, though, too, I will say.
Good. Oh. I'm
gonna post more videos. I'm gonna post more videos. What is the name of my account? Oh, I'm the Ramon Foster on there too. I got 2 postings right now.
Oh, 2 postings? Are you're trying to sell something?
2 posts.
Come to Ramon's TikTok if you want to buy a used lawnmower. Not really. Just what it sounded
figure
like.
out the lingo. I'm getting there slowly, okay?
Ron Slay also getting here slowly. He'll be here in a few minutes, or in a minute, hopefully. We never know. We let Slay show up when Slay wants to show up.
It's Friday, and he going to forever act like
That's absolutely right. Micah is in Nolensville up next on the phones. Hey, Micah, what's up?
Micah?
Thanks for taking my call, guys. So I want to talk some Vols real quick. So the biggest thing I thought for this game is the defense has got to clean it up. I feel like we've kind of been a little sluggish starting up the year. Obviously, I don't expect us to be as good as last year, but I think they really got a good test this weekend. And then also, we're going to send the Hogs back to Arkansas. They're going back in their place. Last year was their fluke. Go Vols. Vols by 50 this weekend, and we are establishing our dominance back on Arkansas this weekend. Let's go, baby.
Heck yeah, Micah.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate the call.
It ain't even fall break for Micah right now. He out here talking trash on a Friday because he knows the attitude of the show on Fridays. You got to act like it, man.
I love it. Good stuff.
No doubt about it.
The last time Tennessee beat Arkansas, Ramon played.
I did.
In the game.
Started that game off hot, too.
07.
Mm-hmm. Arion Foster had a big old day, man.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Actually did. Had, I think, like a 60-yard touchdown. We blocked our butt off on that. Ran off the left side. Home run hitter, baby.
34-13, November 10th, 2007, in Neyland Stadium. Eric Ainge only threw for 128 in that game. But, yeah, Arian, 13 carries for 83.
Yep. Didn't even have a big, what was it, I think, like 62-yarder touchdown?
59-yard.
59.
Hey, baby.
Here's Ron Slay joining us. Walking in. He's musical this morning. He's singing Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. Is this your way of telling us you're taking Florida plus 7.5 in College Station?
It's Friday, Savage. It's Fresh Fridays,
Acting
man.
like it. You got Babs's headphones.
She ain't here, and she can't fight us now.
That's true. What game does Dawn have this weekend? Where is she?
Yeah, she's in Tucson.
Tucson. Okay.
Tucson, Arizona.
I'll take
Arizona
that trip.
Somebody.
Big 12 power Arizona Wildcats. What's up? Welcome.
What up, though, man? Hey, let me tell y'all something.
All right, I'm here to listen.
Tell us whatever
Don't
you
make a
got
little
to
roll
tell
of
us.
toilet paper over there, Savage. Get this little gum about it. I'll remain profession. No. Feel me? Did I do that, Drew?
I hear that.
I mean, since y'all got my dog coming up next, man, Langer, I ain't gonna take y'all too much time, you know what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to know, man, Lang is one of the most professional, well-prepared people that I've met outside of Don Davenport.
Alyssa Lang?
Alyssa Langer, yeah, you know, you call her Langer. Call her Langer, Sam. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You feel me? But let me tell y'all what I did, Will Lee.
Okay.
I was like, man, I got to get in with my boys, man. I'm in there in therapy, you know what I mean? I'm hitting that thing like I'm coming up out of there, you know what I'm talking about, doing what I'm supposed to do. Getting on, my breaks are minimal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm getting on the James want to play around, tell me get on the I ain't got time for that today, James. I'm trying to get in and see my dogs on Friday. Man, I got out of there in an hour and 14 minutes.
Well
That's
done.
getting to it.
I was working, dog.
That's getting to
I got
it.
a good perspiration going on and everything. You feel what I'm saying?
done.
So I'm just saying, man, all that to say, hey, man, I'm in the building. What's
I
happening?
like it. Well, you can stick around and talk with Alyssa if you want. And,
I can hang?
Yes,
absolutely.
you can hang. I told her you probably would.
You can host the rest of the show with us.
She almost expecting you.
She probably is.
She probably is.
That's right. Me
I can
her-
tell that's the homie.
Yeah, me, her, and Steffi. We got, see, this is what I'm going to tell her, too. Like, we got to go pitch it to the right people. SLS.
SLS.
Oh.
Steffi, Langer, and Slate.
Sounds like a brand of Mercedes.
That's a bad combination, boy. I'm telling you, man. We got our own little sayings and everything.
Do you really?
We cold-blooded, Drake. We ain't playing around with them. Hey, man, I just heard Tate on.
Yeah.
Did y'all get? I screenshotted this one because I was supposed to give a shout out last week.
Who you got a shout out to, man?
This
brought to you by
your mama and them.
Your mama and them. I
this
know
brother
that
right here bad, man. Andre Adams.
Yeah, we talked about his 9 touchdowns.
Y'all did.
64-62 over FRA last
And the week before he went crazy.
Yeah,
and he got a little slick little baby cannon.
He had Jeff Levy in the building last night to watch him.
Hey, dog.
He is going to be an SEC quarterback for somebody if he wants to be.
I got to go see him in person.
He's very good.
You will go to a game.
I'll go to a game in a heartbeat. I'll be right there on the fence. You know what I mean?
That was
Old
a battle
school.
of undefeateds last night.
Really?
FRA is a dang good team. So is Antioch, and Antioch comes out of it 64-62.
Man.
They went for 2 after every touchdown.
They supposed to.
Yeah.
Salute to the legend, man. Arsente Broom, man. Hey, I'm talking about Savage.
Yeah. Him?
D-O-G.
Oh, yeah.
Every bit of it. Yes, sir.
Okay, then.
Man, he was a bad boy, man. So
Also just OG of high school football.
This is very true.
Will he always bring it back, man?
Yeah.
I promise you.
Always gonna do it.
Always.
You know what I mean?
He's in the OG Fitzgerald neighborhood of Middle Tennessee high school football coaches too. And
Trying to
Maurice
ride
Fitzgerald.
that. That's right.
100%.
See, Will Lee. See, I'm gonna tell you why Will Lee on this little kick right here. See, Will Lee got some OGs over there running BA right now. Shout out to Coach Wade. You know what I mean? Know how to put that thing together. You feel me?
I was raised in Middle Tennessee high school football, so I 100%.
Savage, he made a declaration a second ago.
What's that?
He correlated a certain player over at BA.
I heard it, but I was getting out the truck at the time. Who was
Keyshawn Bowman, this 5-star who, when he was in Knoxville for Tennessee, Georgia, decommitted from Oregon the next week.
Yeah.
Tennessee heavily in the mix of that recruitment. Looks a lot like what Jalen Ramsey looked like when I was calling BA games and Jalen was in school at Brentwood Academy.
As a junior.
And I know as a junior. And I've prefaced that too with, now Jalen kept getting better kept ascending because Jalen was always that guy. But Jalen is a worker and Jalen kept doing it. So just because you look like him as a junior doesn't mean that I'm guaranteeing you're going to be an NFL All-Pro.
Yeah.
But this dude.
You see characteristics that, you know what I mean,
long,
that you saw in Jalen.
Fast, just. I was there for my 10-year reunion last week, which
that's what's up.
Makes me feel old and probably makes a lot of you feel really old listening, and I apologize, but that's
you
okay.
Up there. You old.
Yeah, you getting
I'm closer to 30 than 25.
Will Lee, you unk now, dog. When you go back,
I don't know about
I'm okay.
Yeah, you are.
Man, you gonna ask them kids, man, what do you refer to me as? See, they gonna refer to us as OGs.
Well, and
you're gonna be unk. You had unk status, dog.
Okay. I don't understand the whole 6'7" thing, so I think that does make me kind of an unk.
I thought that was just a height.
Because technically I am Gen Z.
Yes.
Technically I'm the first year of Gen Z, being born in 97.
We millennials out here, man, Savage.
Yeah. No, I think I'm a Z-lennial. It's like the mix of the two.
That belong in the zoo. Z-lennial.
Speaking of belonging in the zoo, I'm not going to play around with you like I played around with you yesterday not get to the sports, real quick, okay?
Let's do it.
Because you were chatty in the chat earlier before you went to rehab.
Yeah.
And when Hubs was on, I was like, and it's Champions Weekend. You said you was going to tell us about why y'all are the misfits?
Yes.
And you got 2 minutes to do it because Alyssa's coming up on the other side.
Because guess what? I'm going to tell you why we the black sheeps and the misfits. We are easily the ones that they don't, I ain't going to say they want to forget about, but they don't want to acknowledge us. But when we get to, say we get to the family reunion competition, we the ones that's always going to be up there in the front and winning. I can promise you that.
Yeah,
but when you got to get up on the podium and be like, hey, man, this is my 1995 championship grandson.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how proud I am. Look at my 1998 football national championship nephew. Look at him. Look good, man. I'm talking. And then they get to us. You know what I mean? They'd be like, okay, y'all go ahead across the stage. We gonna get to y'all in a minute. Look at this championship team. Now look at what Bruce Pearl brought to. You feel what I'm saying? What they don't want to acknowledge.
Over your era.
Yeah, they already gave us a little acknowledgement in COVID. You know what I mean? Which is cool. We understand. We were rebels. We didn't get in trouble off the court, but on the court, I'm telling you, we modeled ourselves after the Fab Five, UNLV running Rebels, and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The championship teams. This is how much they want to acknowledge us. We won the 2000 SEC championship. Yeah. They failed to talk about us going back to back. We tied the next year with Florida and Kentucky for the SEC championship. That was the first time it was a 3-way split. But they never talk about it.
It ain't even on the website.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Savage.
I wouldn't have looked at the website. They list the swimmers,
Savage.
the wrestlers.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I don't think we got gymnasts, but like they got everybody.
Everybody. I'm trying to tell you that. All you got to do is go back and look at the standings and understand it. I don't even think anybody like Florida or Kentucky accepted rings for it or anything. We didn't either. So we was like, man, we was number 4. We was the best team in the SEC back-to-back years. And we still didn't get acknowledged. Back-to-back SEC champs. Just saying. That was before the split. The East was running it. You know what I'm saying? So
I will say this, and I'll say this as directly as I can possibly say it. Too many Tennessee fans act like Tennessee basketball started with Bruce Pearl.
Yes. I totally agree.
And people skip y'all's era because they go from Bernie and Ernie, and then it's like, then there's this wilderness that they think we wandered through, and then all of a sudden you come out of the other end of it. Oh, Bruce Pearl's here now. Like, no, like,
absolutely.
You, Vincent Yarborough, Marcus Hayslip, C.J. Black, Isaiah Victor, Charles Hathaway, like, y'all had some dogs back in the day.
Serious dogs.
And y'all had the trophies to show for it. It's not like y'all were just good. They're like, oh, we'll take 4th, 5th place. Like, no, y'all have the hardware to show for it.
This is all you got to say, Willie. Name another time when there's a guy coming off the bench that's getting minimal time in this all SEC.
Yeah, right.
Man, all SEC is a sophomore.
Other than Lamonte Turner in 2019. That's about the only time.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Or Jemai Meshack as a defender. But like, we're having a different conversation.
And then that was also with 3 other guys that made it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? That was started. So, yeah, man. But this is good, though. This is going to be fun.
You'll take
it. I'm all day long. That's why I told everybody on the text thread after we talked about the Tennessee club, at the Tennessee club, like, dog, y'all got to be in the building.
Yeah.
So everybody will be there. Harris Walker is trying to be there. You know what I mean? So he got some other things, engagements that he had to get handled, but he's going to try to be there. Other than that, everybody from that team will be in the building.
And hopefully this year, Jalen Carey is the kind that's all SEC off the bench.
Man, you hear me?
That's the kind of tone setter that you were.
And he got it.
Yeah.
He got it. He got it. And it ain't about, that's what people, it's not about the points or anything, the rebound, it's the impact.
Bring something different.
Bring the impact.
That's right. Yeah. Coming up, Alyssa Lang of ESPN and SEC Network. Slay's going to stick around.
Ooh, early break, too, for Lango, man.
I like it. Alyssa Lang joins us. Too. We'll have 2 of Taylor Zarzer's sideline reporters on the show at the same time coming up next. Ramona Will on 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up the show. Fall for Life, 11-year NFL veteran Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Ron Slay's hanging out. We're wrapping up the show, wrapping up the week. We're going to add a second of Taylor Zarzer's sideline reporters into the conversation this morning between myself and now joining us, SEC Network and ESPN's Alyssa Lang on the way to call Ole Miss Washington State this weekend. Alyssa, what's going on? Good morning.
Thank y'all for having me. It's always great to be part of the Taylor Zarzer coaching umbrella, if that's what we can call it. Also, I'll play to the home listeners. Like, I think TZ and I have like an undefeated 11-0 record when calling Tennessee football together.
Nice.
So I'm just putting that out there.
I love that. These are the things I want to hear. We need to compare notes on working with Taylor. Not like we need it. He's like the easiest guy in the world to work with because he's just awesome in general. But this game y'all are calling this weekend, though, is fascinating because Ole Miss looks like the best team in the SEC early in the season. What interests you most about them as a team and the storylines going into y'all's call tomorrow?
Yeah, this is a game where you look at it on paper, and Ole Miss is the better team. And I think Washington State certainly knows that coming into this, but it's an early kick in Oxford. This is an Ole Miss team that's coming off of a bye week, so how do you respond out of the gate? I'm getting ready to head to coaches' meetings in actually an hour or two here in Oxford to catch up with the Ole Miss coaches. And I'm most curious, one, how they handle the quarterback situation against this team. Is this a game where you can get Austin Simmons some reps if he's healthy enough to be back out there? Do we see both ahead of Georgia next week? And obviously keeping with trying to make Georgia and everybody else prepare for both of these guys, Trinidad Chambliss and Austin Simmons, which seems to be Lane Kiffin's MO at this point, which why not? Two talented guys make everybody prepare for both. So that's where I'm most curious to see how they go about this game. But I think secondly, how does this defense come out? When you look at just the sack numbers alone, not quite where we were in 2024 for this defense that led the country. I believe they have just 5 so far on the season. So is this one of those games where the defense can come out, start fast, fly around, cause some chaos, and build some confidence heading into next week where they've got to go to Athens?
We're joined by SEC Network's Alyssa Lang, a.k.a. I was told to call you Langer. by one, you know that laugh by now, don't you?
I know Slay's lurking there somewhere. I heard he was giving your producer grief in the break.
Yeah,
always. If Slay's in the building, he's giving somebody grief.
That means he likes you. That's what that means, man. One question I want to ask you is about just what the SEC is, and specifically Vanderbilt took one last week, and I know you've been a part of the Diego Pavia experience yourself. How do you see that situation opening up for them as they can continue on in this SEC schedule that they have right now?
Yeah, a lot of people watched that game and they said, Vandy, go on back to Nashville where you came from. But I honestly watched that game and I felt even better about Vanderbilt than I had from the first 5 weeks of the season. I mean, they obviously took it to South Carolina at night in Columbia, which is not easy to do, but we've seen South Carolina fall off since then. All right, you go on the road to Tuscaloosa, and that final score is not indicative of how that game went. I think even Alabama fans would tell you that from start to finish, that was a fight. And between the penalties, the turnovers, and the inability for Vanderbilt to really get any kind of consistent pass game going, for them to still have it pretty close, by the time we start the fourth quarter, I think to me said a lot. Obviously, Alabama is the better team and was the better team, but there were a lot of self-inflicted things for Vanderbilt that obviously if Diego Pavia doesn't fumble the football in the red zone, if we don't have the interception in the end zone, that could be a totally different game. Now, coulda, woulda, shoulda, the way the chips fell, but if I'm a Vanderbilt fan, I'm not hanging my head at all for the rest of the season. You're looking ahead to next weekend and having LSU come to Nashville. Not sure where it stands right now, but when I looked about 2 weeks ago, ESPN's FPI had Vanderbilt favored to beat LSU, and that was before they lost to Ole Miss the other week. So I think that Vanderbilt is still a team that's very much in the mix down the stretch of the SEC. That's a team that has a lot of depth, which is something that we've seen become an issue already for teams across the conference. So I'm still very high on where Vandy could end up by the end of the year.
One team that doesn't have an issue with depth, at least we think from a recruiting standpoint and portal and what we heard their roster was worth, was Texas. Alyssa, what is Texas to you this year? Is it really Arch, or what do you call them in 2025?
Man, well, it's been disappointing, I think, to say the least. I was in the camp of, okay, we've watched Steve Sarkisian recruit and transfer portal over the last few years in preparation for the SEC, and then last year in year one in the SEC, to the point where he built the depth of what you would expect from an SEC team. To your point, like, that's how you start the question. And that's what we saw. That's what we saw last year. Mm-hmm. So I thought, yeah, you lose 3 offensive linemen to the NFL, they'll be able to replace them, though, because that's what we see from Georgia, and that's what we see from Bama, and Texas is in that group, right?
Yeah.
And I think, well, this is the first time we're sitting here going, okay, well, maybe it's not that simple. Maybe losing 3 guys on the front, the offensive front, was not going to be the easiest to replace. And I think we're seeing that in real time. Obviously, Arch has his own set of issues that we've seen from week 1 to now. He hasn't been the quarterback that all the expectations were swirling around for him to be. But honestly, in that Florida game last weekend, I thought he played one of the better games, perhaps the best game we'd seen him individually play all season. But he's running for his freaking life out there. So it's a mix of everything coupled in with, I thought we were going to get this world-class defense coming out of Austin, and they've been good so far. But, man, they made that Florida offense look pretty damn good last week, which no one has allowed that to happen yet so far this season. So there's a lot of issues with Texas. That being said, is this not the perfect situation going into the Red River rivalry against your most hated rival to potentially right that ship? I don't think that happens. I think Oklahoma wins this football game, but I think this football game is also cursed in the way that it's not always the best team that comes out with the victory. So all could be different this time next week. But if they don't win that game, guys, it's sky is falling time in Austin.
Langer, let me jump in your wheelhouse real quick. You got Halloween right around the corner. What schedule is scarier more than South Carolina's with what they have lined up? LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, sprinkled into November, Ole Miss, Texas A&M before you play Coastal Carolina. Like, it doesn't get any more crazier than that.
It's brutal. And the games that are on the road, you got to go to Baton Rouge tomorrow. You got to go to Oxford. You got to go to College Station. You get Alabama and Columbia. But golly, I thought Shane Beamer's response this week when he was asked about it was about as perfect as you could put it. Hey, we didn't, fool you when you were on your recruiting trip. You said you want to come play against the best, the best conference. Here you go. Here's your murderer's row of being able to do that. I'm very curious to see this game against LSU. I think we all have been disappointed by South Carolina, and certainly the way they played Vanderbilt, I think, was the most disappointing we had seen so far this season. They've got to get some consistency going on offense. That being said, sort of like looking in a mirror when you look at LSU's offense and what we could see tomorrow night. If they can go into Death Valley, though, and get a win, that sure does make those next 5 games look a lot more manageable on the schedule. But it is not going to start easy against a very good LSU defense.
Alyssa Lang, our guest this morning, ESPN, SEC Network. She's got Ole Miss, Washington State, TZ, Matt Stinchcomb on the call. Alyssa, I watch Alyssa Lang film just to know how to be a sideline reporter and work with Taylor. You crush it, doing a great job, and excited to see you and Slate talk some hoops here soon. It'll be here before
Let's
we
go,
know it.
Langer.
I know. I'm going to see. I think Slay. Are you going to Birmingham next week?
No,
next week?
I may come down, but our great P Dub said they don't have to have me on set. Want to save me, Langer, so I'm putting it on P Dub. But me, you, and Steffi will be reunited at some point.
He's big time in us now, guys.
Yeah.
To be honest with y'all.
I love it.
Listen, it's hard for me to get him on the back porch. Listen, and by the way, stop dogging out Trevor on social media too, man. You crazy.
Is relentless, man.
That's crazy. You dogged the husband out like that. How you?
That's the point of marriage, isn't it?
Team Trevor.
No, he got family in Nashville. If he ever gets scammed by AI, he got a house in Nashville.
I'll tell him. Pray for Trevor. Lord knows.
Alyssa Lang, our guest, Ole Miss, Washington State. Alyssa, have a great call tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Alyssa Lang with us this morning talking SEC football.
That was big time.
She does such a good job.
No,
I just saw.
man.
I actually, literally, as soon as we were done, I didn't want to ask her about it because I didn't know if it was like she could comment on it. But she's going to be on the NBA coverage now for ESPN.
Yeah.
Just got announced like 45 minutes ago.
They
from Front
snuck her
Office
in
Sports.
there to do some summer league games this summer.
Nice.
And it went good out there in Vegas. But I'm talking about running the gauntlet?
Yeah.
She ran the gauntlet this summer, but
love it.
When you resign, they want a little bit more work out of you.
That's awesome. Appreciate her. Appreciate Slay, Brent Hubbs, and Tate Matthews for joining us on this Friday morning. That's a quick show.
That's
a good Friday.
Show.
Always, man.
Damn good Friday.
Always. It's good to be back with my good people, man.
Good to see you,
man. Speaking of good people, y'all know how we ended on Fridays, man. Call your people. Talk to them. Reach out to your folks. Have a random conversation with somebody. Buy somebody a brew. Hug your people, man. More than anything, ELE. Everybody love everybody. Make it back to us on Monday. Peace.